And there we go. There we are. I think. We're about to find out.
Yeah, live now.
Boom. That was easy. Too easy.
Yeah, super easy.
Only a bit late. Just a tiny bit. But
Absolutely.
if you ask me to stream, you get the full experience.
No, exactly. No, exactly. That is exactly how it should be. And now I'm watching an ad for an Acer keyboard.
All right. And who you might be asking, who's that talking in the background? And that is, hold on, if I can figure this shit out. Where is he? Boom. Oh, there he is.
Hey everyone, how you doing today?
Wait. Oh, there are streams there. I look a bit different. You think so? And today it's White Simon, actually. Yeah, it wouldn't be an Alessio stream if I wasn't 6 hours late. What I think about Tax Gluing Factory?
Hey there, how you doing?
Hello, awesome. Thanks for the sub. Hello, Mr. White Simon. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's gonna be a banging stream. I can feel it in my bones.
William Black and Jonathan Simon. Together we are Black Simon.
Simon looking way better today. Very hot. Yeah, that's actually kind of toxic. Let's turn that down. Today is a wholesome stream brought to you by lewisflude of Hand Engineering. Thank you, Lex, for the sub. Is this stream 5 days early? Yes. It's actually 2 days or 3 days late. Have I done something to my hair? I cut it a bit, but it's normal-ish.
Looks good, chop.
Oh. They become Black Simon by doing fusion dance? True. Yeah, yeah. This is it. We'll wait for some more people to get in. If y'all don't have a drink, maybe go get one now.
Really good to stay hydrated.
Yep, absolutely.
The liquids.
Absolutely. Your hair isn't up to the standards I would expect from Hand Engineering. Oof. He's calling you out. He is calling you out.
Oh,
man.
You know, it would hurt if it wasn't true.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. I just got flashbanged. Go away. No.
You got flashbanged?
Yep. I was whitewashing the stream now. Oh, no. Dude. Looking at the fucking Google Doc for the thing just flashbangs me.
Oh, that's very funny. Coming at you from the top of the Burj Khalifa.
Hell yeah. Alright.
One day I'll be on
ready?
top.
We'll give it a bit more time. A few more minutes. Thanks for the sub, Fervenza. Thanks for the prime. You gotta go? Good night, man. Good night, man. Dream Logic with lewisflude. True. True.
This is Black Simon with Alessio.
Yeah.
Featuring lewisflude.
Yep. Pretty much. So for those who don't know, Simon could not make it out today because he's fucking dying. What beer? We're drinking Estrella Galicia tonight. You know, repping. What water are you drinking tonight, sir?
Oh, me? It's an elderflower and rose cordial.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like essentially sugar and water mixed together to make one delicious concoction.
Gator. I don't have. This is actually tragic, but I don't have soft Ron. I only have hard Ron.
Gator.
Yo, thanks Latam Keys for the 5 gifted subs. Here we have our boy. Just look at him. Look at that.
Oh, fantastic. That is a clown.
How much is Simon dying? Yes.
Desk toy. So Simon is having severe dental pains. They are no joke. Let's all clap for Simon.
Yep. Lewis video feed is lagging a bit. Is it? Am I looking a bit sussy? Is that so? Yeah, it's a new Simon today. There's an echo going on somewhere. I was listening back to the stream. I forgot. Audio and video not synced up indeed. How could this happen? Oh no. It's fine? Maybe you guys have to refresh? Or what?
Skill issue.
Yeah, maybe it is a skill issue.
I mean, it's fine for me, but then again...
Is there still a slight echo? Because I was just like listening to the stream in the background without realizing.
There's no echo for me, but like then again, I am slightly deaf.
Well, unfortunate.
Everything is fine, just start.
Which one of us two consumed Simon? Elsa looks different. Oh, Elsa does look different today. Elsa, where is she? Hold on. Let me do a little dog check.
Hello, everyone. Aeron gang. This isn't the Herman Miller Aeron, actually. This is the Herman Miller Embody, as you can clearly see.
Look at this cat.
In silver.
You see this cat?
Oh my god, what a dog.
What a cat.
Oh.
Who's this British guy? This is lewisflude of Hand Engineering, the one, the only. Singer, songwriter, rectangle designer. Elsa do be looking a bit different tonight. Oh, she's like, hi. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Beautiful cat. Thank you.
That is a beautiful cat. It's really beautiful.
When's the album coming? True. Lewis, when is your album?
The RAMA the musical is coming out soon.
RAMA the musical?
Yeah, we're working on some tracks. We're currently casting.
Oh.
We need somebody to play RAMA. I thought maybe we could get Brian from Topre to play RAMA.
Yeah, honestly.
And
why not?
Maybe we could get Jampot to play Kate.
Do I get a 2000 Mini as Xeon? What do you think, Lewis?
Do you get a 2000 Mini?
Does Xeon do?
Well, you get to look at one just for like a couple of seconds. That's all you're getting.
Damn,
maybe you'll get one day. You know, it is going to be it's going to be available to the public. But
okay, what was that? Was that an M60 you were holding in your hand? The M60C?
I wish.
Echo again? How could this be happening? Is it because my headphones are just too close to the mic? Alright, well, whatever. Let's get started. I'm about to get flashbanged for your sake. Jesus fucking Christ. Where is it? Boom. There we go. Fix. Still an echo? How could this be happening? I actually don't understand.
I'm gonna unmute the stream for a second. Let's see.
I feel like I'm getting trolled. Is there actually an echo?
Yeah, slight echo. There's a slight echo.
But what's echoing?
It sounds like something's coming out of your headphones and into the mic, slightly.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna turn down the gain slightly, but there's not much I can really do about it. What? Okay, I'm just gonna do the thing. What is this? The vintage keyboard rabbit hole? Why is this music way too chill?
What a wordy meme.
This music is way too chill. Yo, having to use Epidemic. I don't know anything here. Let's do... No. This meme is gonna be quite a heavy one. Oof. It's gonna be so fucking bad. Alright, there we go. I want... Wait, the vintage keyboard rabbit hole. Let's see how relatable are these. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. I want a good keyboard for a reasonable price.
Hang on, can I just read that?
Okay.
Does anyone ever look at vintage keyboards and say, I want a good keyboard for a reasonable price? Wouldn't they go straight to Corsair?
No, man. No. You can get very good keyboard in vintage for a reasonable price. Thanks for the sub. Yeah,
just
I am the new
keyboard
dad.
or something.
Or just get a, get a 5K.
Yeah, nice.
Just get one. Oh man, I just bought this vintage keyboard and it has crazy value for its price. I can see myself not using this keyboard forever since I don't need any other keyboard now. Okay. Alright. Alright. Man, everyone in this forum says this other Vint feels even better. I want to try it someday, but for now I'm very happy with my Vint. It's just preference after all. This is just cope. Like, stop. I've been reading way too much Authority, and I feel disgusted living by myself now, knowing that I'm using an inferior version of a better keyboard. My fun is spoiled, and I'm a bit jealous, TBH, so I'm buying this superior Vint, and hopefully will be my endgame. Repeat previous two phases a couple times. I now have some of the best Vints known to mankind, Beam Springs, Alps, Model Fs, you name it, and yet I still find myself going back to that one trusty daily driver. I thought I wanted the best, but in reality, I wanted home. There's nothing left to do. No Vints left to try. So here's an idea for a weird Vint project. It's hella cursed, but it doesn't really matter. Nothing excites me anymore. Half of my Vints are either abandoned, unreliable, or just broken. At this point, I'm just collecting them because I think they're cool, even though I probably won't ever use them. I already have a couple of undocumented gems, but all I do is just stare at them, and don't even know why I got them. This hits hard, bro. This hits hard. Damn. What stage would you say you're at, Lewis?
Me? I would say I am before the desk authority step.
So here?
I reckon that. Yeah, I reckon I'm there. I wanted to show you this. It's a super scuffed IBM Model M keycaps cover.
Hell yeah.
Cracking apart and stuff. But no, I've got a fair few vintage boards, but I wouldn't consider myself a collector or like somebody who has gone deep down that rabbit hole. And I think one of the reasons why I've avoided it is because it's just gotten so expensive nowadays. It feels like there are vintage whales and they have money like you've never seen. You know, it's the ability to snap up something vintage for like whatever price.
How are the streets in Barca right now? I don't know, and I don't want to find out.
They're probably mourning the Queen still.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not watching the Barca v Bayern game. That's gonna be interesting. All right, good meme, and
yeah, long meme. I think meme. If you had to rate that meme out of quantity, it'd probably be a 10.
Out of quantity, it's 1 because it's one of the memes of all time.
That's true.
So, yeah. So basically, today's counters will all be manual.
So what are the counters?
So there's eggplant, OK hand, newspaper, and spoon. What was that?
Oh, okay.
What was that thought?
So Simon's not dead. He's nearly dead, but he's not dead yet.
Oh, just
long live Simon.
Sound. Yeah, Simon is not actually dead. He's just dying. He's in the process right now. So let's go.
We're all in the process of dying.
So these are all ICs. Okay, here we go. Pricing update for Vector. What is this?
I think it's very interesting when there's a pricing update. That implies that somebody has kind of looked at it and been like, oh, the price wasn't right for some reason.
So how much was it before? Because I was not paying attention to this thing. Oh, Simon is right here. Hello, welcome, Simon. Welcome. Why are you awake? Don't do this to yourself. No. Now we have to be wholesome, Lewis, because he's here instead of sleeping.
What do you mean? I was born wholesome.
True, right. We're gonna be wholesome the whole time. So
is that higher than it was? $620 for the standard edition.
How much was it before?
Vector keyboard pricing. Okay. There's the IC, $750. I think it was. Was it $750?
Was it $750?
Somebody said. I'm just rapidly looking at the. It says.
Oh, are they just announcing is this the price announcement?
Oh, I see. So originally in the IC, for price they said TBA but not pretty.
Okay.
And then it was announced as.
So this is the price announcement.
So it was originally $620 USD.
Now it's still $620. So I think it's just like this is them announcing it. That's it.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see. Sunday, 4th of September, 2022. I see it.
No, it's because I saw price update. So
yeah,
I thought there was them updating the price.
And the limited edition is $725 USD. What is the limited edition?
How many? What's that? How many of these are they making? Or they're probably
20 unit cap for the limited edition and 100
relatively unlimited for standard.
Yeah.
I just don't see 620. I'm sorry. It's a nice design and it's like for what it is. What
would it need to do to be worth 620 to you? Like what could change this design from a however much design for you to a 620 design?
So it's not just about like the design itself, because it could be made simpler, but at the same time, it's the fact that it's like unlimited MOQ, and they're gonna sell a lot of them. So I guess in a way, I'm basing the pricing for what the design should cost, partially also based on that. But I don't believe it justifies 620 just by seeing how it's designed, like from a mechanical standpoint. Like it is a cool design, but I don't think it's anything that should warrant that kind of pricing, especially if it's going to be something that they might potentially sell many of.
If I were to try and kind of like justify why this would be 620, I would say that Ai03 has dominated the ultra cheap and pretty cheap market segments for keyboards through the KBD fans work and through stuff like the Polaris and the Vega. I think that he is positioning this as a kind of enthusiast-led keyboard, and I imagine this problem is somewhat self-correcting by it being. Sorry, you go.
Sorry, but I get what you say with that, and it's true, but it's like what really makes this much more complex than basically any other 60 or 65% he's made before. And then you see the pricing on this. It's like, it's like, yes, it might have some added elements, but I fail to see what there is there. What about Andro? Andro was also interesting. Like, sure, it was kind of like unique and out there, but I also don't see how that price was like that. I guess it could just be a pricing strategy, like done on purpose to try to like elevate the image of the brand in a way.
I clocked it. It's licensing fees being paid to use the JOT pen rail.
Yep. Lewis, you fucking nailed it. Good job, man. You got it.
Yeah, no problem.
How? So, do we review this as if it were like a normal IC, if it's just a pricing update? Because I'm guessing this has already been reviewed.
Well, but you know, we might as well just quickly talk about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
We're talking about it, but let's see. Where can I see? Okay, so this is just like the usual marketing. A leap across time, large seams, tapered front edges, rounded edge.
I just want to say, this marketing page is absolutely beautiful. I think they've done a very good job of marketing it, and I think the photos really sell the features and vibe of this keyboard. I think there's a lot to hook onto about this design, which I think will be very polarizing. I think people will either hate it and think it's overrated, or absolutely love it and think, finally a keyboard for me. And I do wonder if the price will be somewhat self-correcting, if like because it's 620 and because it's a crazy design, maybe it won't sell crazy numbers, but maybe that's okay.
I don't get, like, what is this even saying? Like, this is, like, sure, yeah, it's not saying anything that isn't true, but it's just basically telling you what you're looking at. I don't know.
I think a lot of this marketing fluff comes from designers and vendors wanting to market computer keyboards in increasingly professional and commercial ways.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like they're just trying to kind of
I get it.
Write as many words as can be written to truly sell the idea. I actually think less is more in some ways.
That's what I was gonna say. I think like when you try to just like make this much stuff like work, it's just like, what's the point? You can there are some like better, how to describe it? Like you don't have to put this much into it. You know exactly what I mean. Like what you said meant by less is more.
For sure. I don't
get it.
Yeah,
I mean, this is way better than a lot of the shit we've seen on Keycap. So I'm gonna say that. That's the only reason I haven't like newspapered or anything, because like this is fine. This is not that bad. It's just
I think Ai03 deserves a little treat. You know, he deserves a little bit of a treat because like I don't think anybody else has contributed as much as Ai03 to the sort of like learner designer community.
Absolutely.
I think that the resources and tools and time he puts in is fantastic. So I think he did. Why not? Why not? Why shouldn't I have a little treat?
Yeah,
and I think it's a treat of a design. I think this design is indulgent. I think this is a design for somebody who says, "Fuck it, I want a pen rail. I want a Epona chamfer on the front lip." You know?
Yeah, the design isn't really so much my issue anyway. It's more like, I guess in a way, it's kind of unfair to him by the fact that we're taking into consideration his previous projects. Well, at least I am. I shouldn't group you in with that. But for the pricing aspect. Because, like, we know what he's been able to do in the past for what pricing. And then seeing something like this is, like, you know, there is definitely that bias that maybe we shouldn't always maintain with designers all the time, because it can be unfair, because we don't know every part of like the logistics behind every group buy.
Absolutely, and talking to a lot of designers who've had like shit thrown at them, often people don't have the full picture at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
another thing, this doesn't come with a plate; it's a plateless design, correct?
Think so.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It should say it right here.
It simplifies the accessory side of things.
Wait, half plate? I don't think so. This has to, wait.
And there's plateless.
Oh, so it's just screws. Okay,
oh,
so
I see. So it's an optional. I see. It's an optional
okay.
FR4 plate.
Half plate. No, but FR4 half plate. I think. Oh no, or full plate. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I think it is being a bit unfair saying that, what I said before, thinking about it more, because it's like I don't know what's different between this or, you know, like Vega and Polaris. There could be a lot of changes.
And also, like, another thing is often stuff that seems like it should be really cheap to do is really, really expensive. And often stuff that seems like it's like for example, something like changing from like brass to steel might sound like it should be an incredible increase in cost, but it's like nothing. But then kind of like doing laser engravings on the weight just to add that line pattern might be just like a crazy big expense. I don't know for this project or the kind of manufacturers he used, but yeah, and also it's been done with the vendor, so they need their cut as well. So I totally get why it could be that much.
So I think I'm gonna, despite what I've said about it, I think I'm still gonna give it an okay hand. I do still think it is expensive, but this does not mean it has to necessarily be overpriced per se, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, obviously. So if we look at it objectively, I still think like you can get very similar keyboards for not that much of a price, like cheaper.
What would you get? What keyboard would you get instead of this one?
Honestly, like, there's so many. If I was gonna get something that has to be similar to this, I honestly would just probably get a Polaris. But if I had to get a board right now instead of that, I mean, OGR would have been a good option recently.
But what if you wanted a 60% that has vintage stylings and a pen rail?
Aren't there boards like that already?
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, like I feel like there's definitely some from China already. Like if you want specifically a pen rail. No Alps support or SI. It's gonna be a while since before we get actual SI support. Yo, S2000 Mini at a pen rail.
You know what? Just
no, not a pen rail. Add a spoiler that acts as a pen rail.
Oh my god, that's such a great idea. And you know what? With the accent, you probably could like add one that you could just kind of modularly kind of like slot in.
Oh right, yeah, JO2.
There's JO2 designed by the fantastic James of Alchemist Keyboards. Great designer. Every single design is a banger.
Honda Civic type board, yo.
Well, we've got the hand engineering Prius coming soon.
I am gonna give it an okay hand personally.
So what does okay hand mean?
So okay hand is like, this is fine.
This is fine. Okay, like this is controversial, but it's getting a pass.
It's not really controversial though. Like,
yeah, okay.
I think saying like that, I feel like objectively it's not that fairly priced isn't that bad, but at the same time that doesn't really mean anything, because that it's like, as like I mentioned, you don't really know what's going on behind there, and it's like it's how each person values like what they see, I guess. Like I feel like there's definitely a lot of people who see this and they're like, oh, 620, I'm just gonna go pay that, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like outside of the world of high luxury, like literal jewelry and like watches, price and scale should have an inverse relationship. The higher the scale, the lower the price should be. And when something's unlimited, that's not really a number. Like you don't really know how many are going to be made.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would expect unlimited and kind of like low price to be the play. I feel like this board is not going to sell as much as previous boards, but it will get into the hands of people who love it, and I really hope that they enjoy building it.
So yeah, we're going to leave it with an okay hand. Like the board is fine. It's probably not something I would want, but it's fine. And
it'll be fun to see it in a meetup, and I'm sure the Anno would probably be quite nice.
Y'all losing Gamba. Sacrosanct Keyset.
Sacrosanct.
Let's go. Here we go. All right. Sacrosanct by Entropy. Okay, here we go. Kit currently being reworked to become one concise die sub PBT package. Nice. Hello everyone, I've created my first key set and I was looking to get an idea of how interested the community would be in the design. All novelties were made in accordance with GMK's guidelines and all colors are RAL classics, so GMK is definitely an option. It is definitely an option. Though I am open to other avenues as long as they yield a quality product. I was always intrigued by sacred geometry. I figured it was fitting for it to be the inspiration and the theme of my first set. Who isn't, of course? Like, are you not always intrigued by sacred geometry, Lewis? What do you do on a Sunday if not read up on sacred geometry scriptures?
You know what? I did watch a big sacred geometry documentary once, and there's actually quite a lot to it.
Oh.
I'm big into shapes. I really love them. I think that one really cool thing about shapes is the patterns that we don't see, but we kind of know are there kind of instinctually. I think the colors here, they are very earthy. They're very woo-woo, you know? Like, I can imagine this set looking good next to a healing crystal.
Oh, absolutely. Shungite?
I think the novelties look rushed and incoherent to me. They look like somebody has done it very quickly without much thought as to what each one is. Because of that, I don't know if this is a cohesive key set. Is that mean?
Sorry, I hadn't actually scrolled down. Oh god, my fucking eyes, dude. Jesus. Oh, what am I looking at?
I like the concept and I like the colors, but I don't think that the novelties. Like, I think I would get confused. I think if you put like this on the TKL, everyone will have them in a different order.
I know I said this was gonna be a wholesome stream. I know I said
was wholesome.
That, right? No. But no, I'm about to be unwholesome.
Oh,
this
don't
legit
reel
looks like
in.
it was made. No, this looks like some DALL-E 2 generated shit. Like, tell me it's not. What is this? Is there actual significant meaning to this? Like, if there's meaning to this, I'll shut my mouth. But I don't believe it.
It's geometric. It's geometric, but as far as I know, those specific symbols don't have any specific meaning. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. Good luck to them. I mean, what I will say is that they've got a render with an ISO keycap as the main render, and then
that's something.
Yeah, like I like RAL colors. RAL colors are great for physical colors. I think we should see more RAL.
4 custom colors. Have these been used?
Probably. Like RAL. The thing with RAL colors is there's like 100 of them or something, so they've probably been used before. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say there's like one red flag. Well, there's a lot of red flags here, but one main one. If they're doing this, if they're doing like, what the fuck is this? I'm sorry, like I don't even know how to put this into words. What am I looking at here with this kit?
What are you talking about?
It's just everything. It's just, and he wants this to be GMK. Okay, so let me explain. If you want this to be GMK, this is not only like absurd pricing, but also like this looks like it was just randomly picked out kitting.
No. I think he's using a very popular render tool to generate this render.
Why is there just what the fuck? I'm sorry. Usually I have a better time putting stuff into words when I see something, but when it's something that's just like so random that when I look at it, it's just like.
Can I? Yeah, go cut back up. I've got some good things to say about it. I think it's got good contrast between the alphas and the mods.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. Sorry, that's all I have.
Has this set not like been made like 6 times already, or like 7?
Well, that's like the only comment that's there. It looks a bit like bread, coffee.
Yeah, but then it's just got like these random color thrown in that does not work at all. Like
I don't know if the blue works for me because I think it kind of clashes with the earthy tones.
It just doesn't. And then there's just these random fucking so it's confirmed. There's no like significance to this. It's just completely random.
You know, I think one way they could improve it is to make it so there's more than one type of novelty design, because you know there are kind of like key sets with abstract novelties and they're all kind of like that, and it kind of works. But like, I think Sacred Geometry genuinely like has some cool patterns. I mean, why don't you Google Sacred Geometry just to kind of go to images just to kind of see some of the amazing inspiration that could be pulled from.
Oh,
You know,
God.
like some of these symbols have very different vibes and very different aesthetics, and I think that the novelty key set should be very stripped back. Like I don't think you need like 3 ISO novelties, for example, and you don't need like a novelty for every single nav button, in my
So
opinion.
it's not just that, but it's like, what two things in this whole set, except for the mods and the alphas, kind of like contrasting well, actually make sense together. It's just like, that's what I'm saying. It just does, I don't understand what's going on here. And then
Do you think they did this with like good intent? Do you think this is somebody who's trying their best to be creative and trying their best to
it's
contribute
actually
something to the
very hard
community?
to tell. Like usually I have a easier time telling, but it's actually hard to tell because like you.
Oh
think
no,
that
no, 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 no! Sorry.
No.
Did you read this? Up to 2
What?
novelties may be removed from each row to keep all designs present, while reducing manufacturing costs if necessary.
Then why are they, like, I'm confused.
So
Why-
removing up to 2 novelties per row. And this says to me that this designer may not have considered the cost of
Anything.
this with
Anything.
GMK. And GMK, great
You-
manufacturer, you know, but like
What is a space kit?
I mean, good
Alright.
luck to them. Like what I see
Check
is I see
post-scout?
someone who has potential, who should be encouraged, and hopefully some wholesome feedback makes its way to the IC.
The designer didn't know what reverse die sub was. That does not surprise me in the slightest.
When you take a die sub key set and you remove the die sub, and then you make it double shot.
What is? Oh God, I don't know any good music on Epidemic. This is very annoying.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
do-
it's a new Geek Hack account as well, by the way. So this is somebody probably new to the hobby.
Hey yo, let's go. This is perfect.
I can't hear the music. I've just got silence. I've just got the gentle wear of my PC fan. Oh, I can kind of hear some leaking through.
Perfect. All right, let's. This is a tad loud, is it? It doesn't sound that loud to me. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that.
Does this get a eggplant, okay hand, newspaper, or spoon, or does it not get any of them?
So, hold on. Let me actually find that again. Wait, did I close it?
You did, yeah, it's gone.
All right. A little loud. Ah, you're capping. This gets a spoon. This just gets a spoon because what the fuck is going on?
So what
I'm
does
trying to
spoon
be
mean?
able-
Is spoon like?
So spoon
nah.
is like this is just like what the fuck?
Okay.
Like what is this? Not. I swear to God. There we go. It's quieter now.
So now should we move on to the RE65 Aluminium?
Yep. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
this
here we
puppy.
go. Let's go.
You know this one.
Nope, I don't know this one. I just read the first 6 words.
Ever since I got into the hobby. Or
Yep, that's. Yep, that's it. All right.
Oh, no,
RE65.
no. I wanted to
What?
design keyboards in the most classical way possible.
RE65 Aluminium foamless gasket mount. Let's go. Ever since I got into this hobby, I've always wanted to design keyboards in the most classical way possible, which could give the best sound profile and typing experience without having to utilize foam, but are also budget friendly for many enthusiasts. After many failures and long process of prototype testing, I am excited to introduce my next project, RE65. So there's an IC form. We'll
Yep.
check that out. On a scale of 1 to 5, what do you think of the project? Why? I love it. What colors are you excited about? PC may be an option. Are you interested in the PCB? Aluminum front bar? So, okay. Default plates are FR4. Okay. IC is fine. Wait. Yeah, this
So
is interesting.
what are your initial impressions? Like, how would you rate this out of 10?
So,
as a
I have
project?
not looked at anything else.
Just initial impressions, just before we go any deeper.
This is a completely biased impression based on prior experience of looking at Geekhack. This is going to be some like sussy board with like kind of weirdly made mounting. So this is just like a complete guess. Very toxic.
You think a weird? You think it's gonna have what would a weird mounting be?
So if it's top mount, it would just be like 8-point symmetrical random shit. So I could be completely wrong, or like just something that doesn't really make sense when it comes to like providing a consistent or an even typing experience that isn't like overly stiff in some way.
Oh wow! The mount. I've got so much to say about the mount, but we'll get there.
Oh, okay. And the fact that he's saying foam, like no foam, but also gasket mount. I doubt this is going to be O-ring, so I feel like there's going to be foam in there anyway. Let's see.
Well,
PCB hot swap, PCB foam, gasket pour-on.
So you can see the mount in that exploded view.
Hold on.
You don't want to get
immediately. No, it already got a spoon. Okay.
Okay. We don't have to waste our time on. So yeah, explode that image a little bit, the big one. So, it's using the hammerhead mount, the kind of hammerhead gaskets, which are designed to kind of disperse things, but the gasket strip is really long, which means that the... Do you see what I mean? It kind of almost undoes the point of that design. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what people usually do is they do the kind of hammerhead, and they have, like, it kind of goes out like this, and then you have the gaskets either side, so that there's a bit of kind of, like, material before it kind of goes down, but the gasket going down on the entire kind of tab, yeah, it's interesting. When I hear classical way possible, I think of like OTD top mount. I think of traditional mount points. I think of taking one off the spacebar.
I can't. So for those who don't realize why I just fucking died on the inside, it's because it says foamless. And then it's like, yeah, bro, no foam. And then I see this, and it's just like, no, I am not being overly nitpicky. I do not know what the guy meant with no foam. When I start reading gasket pour-on and then PCB foam, and there's probably going to be PE foam too, somewhere. It's like, why?
The thing is that, like, pour-on is essentially a kind of foam. You know, I mean, it's... The line between what you'd call foam and what you call gasket is a blurry one at times. I think it's really smart of him to advertise this as foamless because...
because they bait you in and then they try to like switch it on you, and it works because people are stupid. And then you see like 4 cuts on this PCB. Everything's going to be uneven. Even the fucking PCB foam has flex cuts on the foam.
But do you think they were trying their best? Do you think this is like an authentic...
No.
What?
I don't believe so.
What intent do you think the designer had?
I don't know, but it's like, it was definitely not whatever the fuck he says here. I can tell you that much. Whatever this is just fucking bullshit. Because it's like, you say that, and then you do literally what everyone else has been doing for the last 2 years. And do, like, nothing, provide absolutely nothing new. You take sides that have been done already plenty times before. Like, there's nothing, like, he didn't do anything to actually do any of the intentions, like, or like goals he set for himself in the first paragraph. Like,
well, yeah, that is the biggest thing that I always think about. Is like, did the designer achieve what they set out to do?
No,
and I don't think it's classical, and I think
there's nothing classical about this.
I've got one positive thought and one negative thought I just wanted to share. The positive thing I wanted to say is that I really like the little RGB plastic thing at the bottom of the front.
So that's the plate. Where's the PCB foam picture? Sorry. Because they are right. That is the plate. Where's the PCB foam? All the cuts.
Yes, I really like that RGB panel at the front. That kind of like acrylic thing. I think that's really nice.
Yeah, I actually do like that too. But I don't think it works on this board because there's just like nothing like... I don't know. It just looks so random.
So my negative comment about this is I think that sometimes keyboards exist where they only make sense if you understand what they're referencing. I think if you haven't seen the boards that have similar sides to this before, then it's not going to look as good to you. Would you agree with that? Like,
are you seeing this anno?
Let me check it out.
Okay, so I just started, like, my brain just started working now, and if this is 260, this is like just not gonna be worth buying. No, this is silver prototype. Just buy a Frog Mini. Just buy like any other 60 coming out or that has come out already. That just is like, For 260, this is not it, bro. What is this? When you look at all the other options available,
I agree with you slightly. I would say for 260, it isn't this, but I don't think this would be it at 10 or 5. You know, like I don't think it's a question of price. I think the price is fine. I just think it's not like a great design for me.
It's just not a good board. Like,
yeah, it's not a good design for me, and it's not one I would find it easy to recommend.
Oh, so they do all the meme gasket mount shit that's gonna... Oh my god. So they do all that, and then they don't even bother with a daughter board. It's like... There's just so much going on here that's just like nothing new or anything like interesting at all. And it just does not flow well together.
Yeah, let's give it a spoon. Let's give it a spoon and move on.
I already did. Nah, this ain't it. This is just like, why? Why does this exist?
I think it's a reminder that the community and hobby is so big.
So negative and biased? Yeah, I am being that right now. But at the same time, it's because like, they said this. I have to make it very clear. My issue is that they try to say they're doing something new or not something new, but like something classical.
Classical
and like
foamless.
Like they have like this intention, and then they show this about it. Like they show this. Why are you even saying this if this is what you're gonna like give? Now, if we look at the keyboard objectively, as I said, there's nothing horrific about it. It's just that there's like nothing new. This does not do anything different or interesting compared to everything else that there is out there. And when they say what they're trying to do here, and then you see this, it's just not the same. And it's like, why? So if no other keyboards existed, this would be fine. But when you have to see keyboards, nothing new is different to bad. But is it really new? Because so many boards do this exact same thing for around the same price and for better quality.
You're right. I think the only reason to buy this is if you either know the designer or are local to them, or you're just kind of ignorant. Like, I think those are the two reasons. And it's perfectly fine to look at this and say, I love it, and if you do love it, go for it. But I don't think I could recommend this when, like, the frog exists.
I can't recommend it when there's other things out there. It does look like a basic bitch China board. Like, you can say, yeah, fine, it's toxic and biased, I don't care, but it is what it is. Like, even if you try to see it from an objective, this is an IC, not a GB. Why you care about value proposition? Because that is literally what we do. We look at ICs, and they see what value they provide, and we see, is this something that's like good for that money? And that's part of one of the things that you have to consider. It's not just about the price, it's about everything, including what they say to you. Like, if the marketing is bullshit, you have to call that out too, because I think people have to be held accountable in this hobby. Value proposition is everything. Well, not entirely, but it is like a big part of it. Especially when it's something that's claiming to be something that it's not. Because then it's like, what are you here for? I don't understand. But yeah, that's going to be a spoon. Next. Man, this was supposed to be a wholesome stream. What happened? Lewis, what happened? Explain.
Hey, you know, we can get back to that wholesome place. We can get back there.
Maybe this will help us get there.
Absolutely.
New retro 66. Okay. This could go very well. Or maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey everyone, here's Deadline Studio. Actually, this is a project that we had started before Deadline Studio was established. The first draft of this keyboard was designed in June 2021. All good so far. I see a little interesting design there, but we'll see. Thank you for the sub, Herfalurf. 12 months, crazy. Yeah, retro. This is a very retro keyboard, can't you tell?
How do you feel about this? Good timing. Do you want to go first?
So, all I'm gonna say for now is I'm not really seeing the retro here, but maybe they'll show it to us. Maybe they'll point at it on the keyboard and they'll be like, "There's the retro."
The best thing I can say about this board, kind of like being retro, is it does kind of remind me of maybe old tape decks like Walkmans or some and stuff. It looks more kind of like hyper futuristic to me. Like this looks like something from Overwatch or something. I've never played Overwatch, but this is what I imagine it looks like. There's design elements of this I like, but they don't really make sense at the same time. I think it's fun, and I've got to give it points for being fun. And the graphic design looks nice, and that's not often the case.
All right, so let's look at this keyboard, okay? Let's actually look at this. All right. So, at that time, I was very obsessed with deconstruction and the style that mixed modern and retro together. So we see a lot going on here, but we'll keep going. PC is the modern material. Good thing they put the quotes there. Good thing, because, you know, it isn't modern, that not much. That I have been eager to use, but I don't want to reveal too much internal structure. So I made a layer up. Wait, what? What does this mean? Lewis, can you translate?
Oh, so PC is the modern material that I've been eager to use, and I agree. Like, I think see-through plastics are very futuristic and modern. I don't want to reveal too much the internal structure, so I think it would look ugly if they didn't put that kind of dark blue layer, so that chassis underneath the PC. I think it's really nice because it makes it look layered. Like, often with PC boards, all you will see inside them is like the internals of the keyboard. But with this, they've put things.
Vibes.
Huh?
True. Sorry, someone said Y3 kind of vibes, and they are right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't like this keyboard. I think that it looks like it's kind of like misunderstood a lot of aesthetics. But I think that it's a good attempt, and I think it looks like it was done with love, and I think that's always a good thing.
So I actually agree with you with some things there. I do actually think effort was put into this, as opposed to some of the other things we've seen here. I do think they actually put some thought into this, even if it's not something that I personally like. But I actually think this is very cool aesthetically, because it actually does something different, but without going too far out there. It's fucking crazy. This is like wild. Like, this is not something I would have on my desk, but I think they managed to like strike a balance as far as like out there can go for this kind of aesthetic without going too far. Because this right here, it's like you see this and it's like, huh, but it's not too bad. Like, it's not too like outlandish, I would say personally.
I mean, not every keyboard has to be like a minimal cheap in stock 60%
exactly.
or TKL. Like, if somebody saw like a minimal 60% on your desk, they'd be like, okay, metal keyboards, that's interesting. But if a normal person saw this, they'd be like, oh my god, that's so cool.
So for better industrial style keyboard, you can look at basically anything from Matrix. You could also look at some stuff from like Gray Studio, Fox Labs. They've all come up with something more or less like futuristic retro kind of style. Not really retro, but like this kind of like industrial style. Especially Matrix is the king of that, where they have like a million fucking parts put together. Mm-hmm. But this does achieve that in a different way, especially with the way they implement the plastic. So I'll say this. I don't actually personally like how this looks, but I think it's fucking cool.
Have you seen the packaging?
No, I have not.
At the bottom, it's they've even rendered the packaging, and it looks really nice.
So, like, as far as keyboard go, let's actually let's go back and look at the actual keyboard. So there's a lot of like weird marketing here. It's like, but not really too weird. It's just like the way he writes the stuff, kind of not hard to read, but like it doesn't flow well together. But I think that's more of like a language barrier thing more than anything. Like, this is fine. It's not like he's trying to do anything weird. And it's fine. Not everyone has the same level of language, and that's completely okay. So there's a lot of parts here. There's a lot of parts here, and that already brings to question: has this guy done any like group buys that would require this level of logistics? But to be fair, this is an IC, so we'll see if how this goes, if they go with any vendors. A Mech 11 PCB we will sell in stock. Okay, so it's not a group buy. 5 color options, but due to the limitation of the quality, we cannot make them all. So with 3 or 4 colors. Okay. Violet E-coating. I actually like that. That's kind of cool. Silver anode, dark blue E-coat, cream E-coating. E-coating seems to like be more foolproof than ano when they can get it right. That seems to be what I've seen, which could be pretty interesting. So you can buy different triangle brackets. Inscribe on front packs. Everyone can... Oh! Okay. So everyone can engrave their own plastic part. Honestly, pretty sleek packaging. So again, this is not a board I like, but this is fucking sick.
There's definitely like a slight language barrier thing going on
but
here,
that's
but
fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. Like, you understand what they're saying. They've actually put in the effort to make sure you can understand if you put in some effort. I'm just a bit out there right now. where's the pricing? Do they say that?
What price would it be good at?
So, just because I get the vibe this is a China board, I'm not saying this is the price it's going to be good at. I'm going to say this is the price I'm guessing they're going to price it at. I'm going to say somewhere between 350 to 400. And I think probably 400-ish would be fair for something like this, because it's a China project and we've seen what can come out of there. But objectively, this could easily be a 500 to 600 board if it was like sold from a certain like designers or vendors, which, like, as much as I disagree with it in a lot of ways, is sadly how like value is appreciated for this. No, 400 fair. It's like that would be fair for like what is like cheap even. But we'd have to see. I'm not saying that's what it has to be. It's just a price I'm throwing out there, based on other China boards.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, but I said this could easily be 500 to 600. Like, we'll see. Do they say anything anywhere here?
No, nothing. Nothing about price. I did do a little search for price, but that's okay. We'll come back to it when it goes into GB.
Yeah. No, but I think this is definitely very cool. I like that they did something different here, like very different. Like, there has been a lot of boards with industrial style come out of China, but they managed to kind of get into that space without really copying anyone or stepping on anyone's toes that I'm aware of. Because when you get into the kind of style of design, it is very easy to accidentally looking like something else in some capacity. And I've never seen something like this. If anyone knows of anything like this, feel free to say it.
Another thing that's notable about this is a 22.5mm front height and a 7-degree angle. So it's quite a chunky board as well.
Yep. It is quite a chunky board.
And for the record, I don't mind that. I don't mind 20+ millimeters.
So it is definitely, yeah, it's a China foam board. What can you do?
But what's wrong with that? Foam's not bad.
No, that's what I said.
But yeah.
That's what I said. Some people like that, and that's fine. But when I say that, it's just like, it's just the same as some any other things internally. But I like that it's different. How many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's one more part than the 2.0 Xmas ADD from Matrix. And that was like, what? Like 1,000? Like, no, like 800 to 900. But to be fair, that had a lot of like very complex metal machining as well as like coated brass. So yeah, maybe I'm talking out of my ass for the pricing. That could be very possible. We'll have
you know me, like I think the pricing shouldn't necessarily be tied to the physical cost of the materials.
Yeah.
I think that if it was made of wood, it could cost $2,000, and if it was made of gold, it could be $500. You know, it's
well, and that's exactly why I mean that I'm not looking at. When I look at a board, I don't try to just look at the pricing based on simply that, unless it is in certain circumstances, like such as where this is going to be a long stream. True, actually,
price.
I should actually
321 Great British pounds. God save the king. So what is that board? In USD?
So didn't I say 350?
So it's 369.65 US dollars.
So I was right. Okay.
I was going to say my guess was $325. That was my guess. Well, not too far off.
So I'm going to give that an okay hand. Because I think it's cool that it does something different, and even though it's not something that I would get for myself, that's fine. Eggplant? I would give it an eggplant if
No, definitely not an eggplant.
No. I would give it an eggplant if it managed to like use a mounting that wasn't just like less than a fair price.
Do you really think so? Like I think even with like the world's best mount, I don't think that would be eggplant worthy. Surely.
Well, I said I would maybe. Like I feel like I mean, why not? If it was like an actual good board to type on. Oh, well, and I should add, change the ergonomics slightly. Because 7 degree with 22mm front height is not going to be that comfortable. Like personally, at least from experience, I think it could be better ergonomics. Surely having a solid price estimate is necessary for that to be an eggplant. I guess unique design in stock less than 400. Yeah, I mean it's kind of unique, but we'll just move on. Okay, hand is fine. I know you can get a Guion for that price. Yep, you can. Hello, what is this? Hello. This is gonna be interesting. This looks cool. Curve Zero, first prototype. Okay. Oh, hell yeah.
You know what? This reminds me of your cherry multi-tool.
I love this. Dude, I love this already. Oh my god, what is going on? The prototype has open sides. I am considering adding walls. Please fill out the interest check for your preference to be heard. The prototype has extra cutouts that will not be in the final product. For example, the switch cutouts are extra tall on the spacebar row in the prototype. The spacebar row angle and offset from shift row will probably be smaller in the final product than in the prototype. Okay. If it has long been known that a flat typing surface is not very ergonomic, that is why profiled keycaps exist. You may have noticed that all keycap profiles share a common characteristic. The overall typing surface is in the general shape of a curve. Sometimes. Original photo, yep. Changing the key top angles in order to achieve a curved typing surface has flaws. No way, really. I love this guy. He just doesn't care. He's just gonna fucking do it, and no one can stop him. And I love that so much. Oh, changing the key. Okay, the angle of the force applied to the key is not in line with the translation axis of the switch. As a result, only the component of the force that is parallel to the switch action actually contributes to moving the switch. The operator therefore needs to press harder in order to move the switch the same amount versus flat key top. What a Chad. The perpendicular force component becomes friction. The result is results in a less smooth key travel. So he's basically saying that, like, when you hit the keycap off axis, that's gonna make it worse to type on because you're like hitting the stem at an angle, and it's gonna create more friction as you bottom out. I think that's what he's trying to say. So he is technically right. But here's the thing, it's so marginal, you do not fucking tell. But I love this guy. He just does not care. The angled keycaps also need to be taller. The perpendicular force components therefore has greater leverage, which increases its added friction, which decreases smoothness and requires you to press even harder. To fix these flaws, yeah, he is technically correct, yes. Like, I am not criticizing anything here. This guy's based. Curve Zero has the switches themselves at an angle. This gives a curved typing surface with flat keycaps. Another advantage of having the switches at an angle is that your finger actually moves in the direction of the press during the key travel, which feels more comfortable, in my opinion at least. To give everyone a chance to try this new concept, I designed a simple construction to keep the price low. The case to which the plate is mounted, integrated, cut and bent, made of steel, designed specifically for DSA by XDA Works. Hello. Oh my god, this is amazing.
So what are you thinking about this? I've got thoughts.
$100. Let's go. So here's the thing that I love about this, is that he is trying to fix a problem, and that in fixing that problem, he is creating a new problem, because the thing that happens when you type on a flat board with keycaps literally also happens on his design. So the thing is, his concept requires you to type in the exact center every time, either way. And sure, he's trying to like curve it, but that's what the keycaps do themselves. So here's the thing, he knows this. He is literally acknowledging this, but he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, because why not? And if anyone wants to try it, you guys can try it too. It's amazing. So I'm not actually making fun of it here. This is not me trying to like roast it. I actually think this guy is fucking based, because he's like, he's not trying to make money here. I don't think this is the objective. This is not a project like a product he's trying to sell here. He's like, hey, I'm trying this out. If you want to try this out too, I'll give you this opportunity. And that's what I see here. And I love this kind of thing, because this is like, for me, one of the things custom keyboards should be for. Just fucking messing around and trying random shit, even if it's not for the common purpose of like, oh, just getting a nicer keyboard. Exactly. Like, this is just like a thing that exists. And that's cool.
Absolutely, like, and I think he's put a lot of thought into this, even if, like, you know, you might disagree with some of his logic. I think it's, yeah. I think you're right. I think this kind of experimentation builds a good community.
Absolutely.
I think, Corona was a very confusing time for everyone, because a lot of new people came into the hobby. Some of them genuinely wanted a new keyboard, some of them wanted a new hobby, and some of them wanted a new investment. And I think some of that culture did erode some of the spirit of experimentation. If you look at like any kind of like keyboard and keycap right now, 9 out of 10 of them will use the exact same mount system. You know, some kind of leaf spring-esque gasket mount. Most of them will have foam. You know, most of them will reference a custom in some way. This kind of thing used to be really common back in the kind of Ripster days. You know, the kind of older days of the hobby.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I think that it should be encouraged. You know, I personally like. I think it's fun, and I think it looks good. Like, even aside from the fact that this is just like a little experiment, I think this looks like a camping tool. You know, it looks like a spork or something. It feels very utilitarian, and I could imagine a type of person who really gels with this. Like, they like the feeling of control, and they like feeling smart. And I think there is something very desirable about minimalism and kind of removing elements that might be seen as, you know, needless. You know, sheet metal is really great, and it's a great material to work with, and I think it makes a lot of sense for a keyboard.
For me, it's just that. It's just like, I love the fact that this exists for the sake of existing. And like, that's kind of, as you said, what keeps a community and like hobby like this like thriving. Because it's that like pursuit of like trying cool different shit that eventually like develops shit in this hobby. And even if this isn't what's going to be like the next big thing, which I personally don't think it will, because it is kind of like this doesn't really need to exist. But that's kind of what's cool about it, because it's like no one's ever going to try this, and like no one else would ever make this, but this guy is. And if this is something that you're like, hey, you know what, I want to try that out for the fuck of it, $100, and you have it, and that's cool. That's cool. Hey yo, Omar, nice meeting you. Likewise. Yeah. So I'm actually $100. What does that include? Let's see. Stainless steel case plate thing. I love that. PCB daughter board and the connecting cable screws. $100. So I would usually say that might be a bit expensive, but for one specific reason I'm not going to. It's because like this is just this guy like putting time and effort into doing it, and this is just kind of like it's not like a profit thing per se. I don't think so, because that's not the vibe it gives me. And that's probably just how he values all his time, as well as just like, you know, this costs money to make, even if it's not like a fully CNC'd machine. And he explains everything a fully CNC'd machine, like a fully CNC'd keyboard. And he put a lot of time and effort into it, obviously. He explains everything incredibly well. I am going to give this an eggplant. Like, unironically. Because sure, this isn't like the kind of board that you're going to be like dailying or using this. I don't think anyone is. I could be proven wrong. But I love what this represents. I'm giving this an eggplant. This is the kind of thing that I actually want to like endorse. Because more of this moves the hobby in a good direction. Because if we just keep doing the same shit over and over again, nothing changes. And that's boring for me too. Like, that's boring for everyone. No one wants to just stay in the same thing. And you could argue foam boards and all that are also part of that. And what I think is, I never say there's an issue with foam. I say there's an issue when everything has foam, like, brainlessly. So yeah,
I think a lot of designers just like they seem like their idea is, I want to make a keyboard, and that's pretty much where it begins and ends.
Yeah,
they kind of design something, fold in a bunch of elements they like, and then that's kind of the end of the story. And it's frustrating because there's so much more they could do if they tried to think more.
Yeah, I agree with Fran. This IC screams hobbyist, and it's one of yep, that nails it. That's what that looks like, and I want more of that in this hobby.
Oh, now this.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have to say straight up, I'm gonna have I'm not going to have a bias, but I do know this person, and he is a friend of mine. But that is not going to affect anything, because I've already roasted this guy very hard before. Zepsody. This guy goes by equals. I don't even know how to take this thing.
The equals D? Zepsody.
Yeah.
Zibody.
So this is the guy who did the blue bonnet switches. So I will be fully honest, but I just have to disclose, I do know this person. He is a friend of mine.
There's a mounting point on the spacebar.
I haven't actually looked at this, so we'll go. So 618 by Zepsody.
What do you think of the layout? Do you like the layout?
I like the layout. I will say straight off the bat, I enjoy this layout. Do
you like the LED position in comparison to the blocker between the numpad and the 60% portion?
The numpad and the 60%.
So can you see there's
here?
that line between the to the left of the numpad?
Yeah, here.
And it's slightly misaligned with the LEDs.
Oh,
that's getting to me slightly.
It is. I see that. So you hadn't pointed that out. The F-row is weird. Yeah, wait, actually, what the hell's... Oh, I hadn't seen that.
I hadn't seen the LEDs.
No, I had seen the LEDs. I hadn't seen this, where like the F-row is shifted a bit to the left.
Yes.
Because of the LEDs. So like I had seen that, but I hadn't actually like focused on it because I'd just seen this like a couple seconds. I only knew like I hadn't seen like look at this picture well. Oh wow. So I still like the layout, but I am gonna have to criticize this personally.
How about the bezels?
I think this looks a bit off. I think the bezels are fine for a board of this size. I don't think tiny ass bezels are the best thing, and I do like small bezels. Like I have to admit, I love tiny bezels, but when it's a board this big, I think the proportions work. At least from seeing this picture, I want to see more. Like I want to look at this keyboard and then like assess it properly, because all I've seen was a picture of the back once. So 618.
What once is definitely enough.
What?
Sorry, what were you saying?
I just didn't hear what you said.
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Longboard is a board that I've been working on for 2021. He's owned 1,800 boards. Never found one that was happy enough to use a daily driver. Okay, so he made this board because he wanted to make this board for himself. And he says he's worked a lot on this. Okay. Once is definitely enough. The name 618 comes from the ton 618 black hole. Okay. Alright, I guess. I plan to order the round 4 protos. So he's done 3 rounds of prototyping before uploading this IC. Any feedback, please put it in the IC form. Let's check the IC form. Email address. Are you interested in purchasing? If so, what changes? Are you happy with it? Okay, so he actually asked about specific parts. No, just about the design on the bottom. Okay, are you happy with the color options? If no, what colors? Plate materials. Are you happy with pour-on gas? Okay, so he's asking what gasket material people actually want. I like that, but at the same time, it kind of makes me think that he's not really designing the board with like full intention. Like, how would I say it? Like, he doesn't have like a specific goal for what he wants this board to sound and feel like, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Can I just say though, like, I've seen so many designers overconfident about their ability to influence the sound and feel of their boards. They'll say things like, "Oh, I'm making these like cuts in the plate to compensate for this, and I'm adding like this material here to compensate for that." But the people who kind of like say that the most often have the boards that feel and sound the worst. I think in a way it's more of a dance between you and the design. It's great that this person's done multiple prototypes, because I think that's really the best way of actually meaningful trying to move something in a certain direction.
So while I agree and I get what you're saying, it's like if you've had 3 different like versions of prototyping and you've had the opportunity to try all the configurations, and he most likely has, it's like, why don't you pick, or like, why not just say, would you like to have both options, as opposed to saying one or the other, unless I misread that. It's like, it's like your design, right? And if you know what options there are for like how it can feel inside, because like he can try it, right? I wouldn't be like, I don't get why he wouldn't just like pick, or like just say, do you want both options? Because what does he say here?
Yeah, definitely not both options. Like just pick one. It's great to prototype and experiment with things, but
also I don't think it would, unless you, okay, I guess you could just have like different thickness of gasket for different materials to like compensate. Thanks for the sub, Kaipor. So that's whatever. We'll keep going. So all the info: 8-degree typing angle, McLovin, hot swap, PCB solder, MX Alps compatibility. Thank you. We'll get, yeah. The bottom I saw, I wasn't a huge fan. 6063 daughter board, LED with acrylic diffuser, pour-on gasket mount with silicone side strips to hold the assembly in place. So he's isolating the plate on the sides too. Silicone plate gaskets can be made if there's enough demand. Proto weight is 4.7 kilos. Jesus Christ. 200 MOQ. Price TBD. He's the only vendor for now. We'll see. Layout support. Split backspace, ISO. So you can do wing keyless bottom remotes in 1.5, 1.7, and then that again. Or like, okay. Okay, I don't mind these bottom rows. These bottom rows are fine. From what I can tell, this is pretty decent layout compatibility. I'm not sure if there's anything else you could change up here for the numpad, because I don't really know much about numpads. But I fuck with this. And yeah, Alps on an 1800% with XT. Interesting. Like, I like this these layout options. Yeah. So
yeah, the layout is almost inoffensive.
Yeah, my only gripe that from what Lewis pointed out, and so I don't like that this F12 is pushed off to the left. I maybe should have clarified earlier. I think it kind of looks off. And that's the thing, that's a personal thing, and I'm making that clear. This is not objectively wrong, maybe. Like, I don't think so. Because, you know, if he just likes how that looks, that's fine. And he did specifically state this board was like kind of like a personal thing that's now a group buy. And as the designer, he has like the full right to decide for it to be that way. So that's fine. And you guys can like that too.
Alessio, how many legs does a table? Sorry, how many legs does a chair have?
4.
How many legs does a table have?
4.
How many bump ons does this board have?
Jesus fucking Christ, I forgot what this looked like on the back. Yeah, I already told him. So I've actually seen this picture of this bottom, and I've already criticized him, and I had very strong words for him, and I will I might just repeat
This
them.
is by far one of the ugliest bottoms of a keyboard I've ever seen in my entire life. Bar none.
Fuck, I don't want to open Discord and leak everything, but I told him literally nothing on this bottom design aesthetically works for me. And I think that I could see some people seeing this as cool, but it's not just the so many screws, it's everything.
The alignment of the screws is the biggest thing that's upsetting me. Like, none of them are aligned with each other. It kind of feels messy. And you know what, like, I think he could really bring this back by changing some of the proportions.
He for sure can. He for sure can. And I think well, and this is, I guess, where kind of that bias falls in. I know this guy, and I've given him a lot of criticism in the past for like other designs, and he's very good at taking that and like just completely throwing everything back on the drawing board and starting over. So that doesn't excuse what we see now on screen. I think this does not work. I personally think this is horrible, but I think there's potential for this to become something that more people could like agree with.
What's one step up from a spoon?
So clean it up. So firstly, just less screws. Oh, you're frozen. Why? Like, just clean it up. There's just too much going on here. There's too many screws, and like the misalignment everywhere is killing me. Like even like these lines for like where the bump-ons aren't aligned. Why are there so many bump-ons? Why is there like 1, 2, like? So it's things that like separately I think would be fine. Oh my God, Lewis just can't stop looking at it.
Did you click on Discord by any chance? I love it. Like a mime.
The death stare. Oh my God. That's so good.
Oh my God.
That's so good.
But yeah, like I don't have a problem with the amount of screws, but if you're gonna do that many, you've got to make sure that they're aligned.
I mean,
look at something like the TGRJ and B2 bottom, for example.
Yeah.
You know, like look at the alignment of those screws and how that kind of works. They're not all aligned, but like it works in the context of that design.
Yeah.
Like see those 2 screws next to the bottom in the bottom left? How they're not kind of like vertically aligned with each other? That's like, an obvious thing. So
let me add more to the thing. This here, you know how like you see how the copper like has 2 separate pieces? I don't see why. Like I don't understand. Like, yes, I see it like in this one, it's like a different accent piece. But when you have the seam up here, this just breaks everything visually. Like, not like when there's already so much misalignment to like where the positioning of where things are. You're just adding even more to it with this, and then everything is like also so rectangular. But then there's also the curve. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Everything, like nothing really flows here. And that's what I tried to explain to him. And he understood. And I wasn't the only person to tell him that.
I think
I think there's potential.
A quality design is somewhere in between good taste, good skill, and good awareness. And I think that this person seems like they've got a lot of skill. Their taste is what it is, and that's the subjective thing. And I think their awareness is low, and they probably need like good friends to kind of like help pick them up. And I would love to see this person get the support they need to truly refine their designs. I think it would be incorrect.
Oh wait, hold on. He's done that here. Look, this is the new bottom. So this is the round, like this is the new design after seeing this. So okay, so these are prototype round 3.
I'm trying to work out how they're different.
So way less screws, and now the bump-ons are aligned, and the screws that there are now all aligned. From what well, not all of them.
I still think it looks bad, but I think it looks less bad.
I think this is fine. So I still don't. I think I'm still not a huge fan of this personally, but this is much better than whatever this is. Because like I'd say not like there's so much like nothing's really flowing here, and it's like, wait, yeah, I don't know that like this is just too much going on. But at least this is much cleaner. And with that carbon backplate, that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. For prototype 4, so he's changed this. Okay, the current prototype is not even the finalized prototype. Links. All right, yeah. So this is not even like this is potentially not even the final design. So he's still like actively working on this and making changes. So I guess we'll see how it looks at the end. I still think he might be able to do better than this for sure. But this is already looking better than this, personally, I'd say. Yeah,
but based on the fact that like he, it seems like he's trying. I wish the best of luck to him with this design.
Oh, so there's the spacebar mounting. Oh wow! I had not actually looked properly at the mounting. So this, because it's got all this meme shit here, so this might not be that bad. I'd need to try this. But this has the potential to be extremely stiff, but depending on how he pulls it off with the compression of the gaskets, it might not be. So it really depends on how well he pulls off the prototyping. And when seeing where these mountings are, yeah, I think this has the potential to be good, but I'm not really sure because it depends on how stiff that gasket's gonna compress. But one thing I don't understand. All right, this is one thing I don't get. He's posted like this and already has like this new design here. Why not just wait for these to arrive before even posting this? Like, so maybe there's some reason we don't know. Like, there's something.
I disagree with some people about what Keycap IC should be used for. Some people are like, you should post that ASAP and get feedback and use it to mold your design. Yeah. I kind of feel that you should use it to get interest on a design which is finalized. I think the feedback stage should be like just the kind of like pepper on top, like very minor things. I don't think a design should ever get to Keycap this early.
So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at, but specifically the fact that he is posting while already having the new design on hand and like potentially already in the process of being manufactured. It's like, even if he's not gonna say that's the final version, like that's already like at least like something that, like you get what I'm saying. Like he's posting with something new instead of just waiting for that to arrive and then show that, because what he's showing here will like not be a thing, or like this is already like made redundant by the time he's posting. So it makes even less sense than posting an unfinished product, as you would say, like as you said. So that's kind of what I don't get. So yeah, so I'm gonna give this 2 things. This is gonna be the first thing that I'm gonna give 2 things to. I am gonna give this a newspaper and also an OK hand. I'm gonna give this a newspaper because I think he jumped the gun a bit. For like, I can't really see the reason why. Like maybe I get this explained to me and I'll understand. And then I say OK hand because it's not an eggplant worthy design in my opinion as it is now. Like I think there still needs some work, but it has the opportunity to like improve. So I'm gonna give this an OK hand. So it's OK hand and a newspaper. There's potential here. And we also have to see pricing, because that's something that he doesn't say, but it's fine. This is still an early IC for
what
some
pricing
reason.
would you like to see? I think that this should be, well, it could be anything.
So
I can't
based on
really
the
say.
size and the complexity of whatever the fuck this is, this could be anywhere between 600, I'd say minimum. So yeah, 600 minimum. And I could see this going up to like 800 to 900 depending on whatever's going on here.
$2,001.
All right, so you can't see anything through it. So yeah, I don't want to say an exact price, but I would guess somewhere around that region of 600 to 800, depending on several factors. But yeah, so OK Hand newspaper. Let's go.
I think that's fair. You know, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the biggest
Yeah,
fan of it, but
but
I think that's correct.
I don't think, as it is, it's acceptable, and I think he definitely made a mistake by posting the IC so early, with the knowledge that there was gonna be like he's already posting with a design revision.
It could just be a formatting thing. Like, if he put the previous prototypes in an album and put it off to one side, then that wouldn't have been like I think that put me in a bit of a bad mood.
Yeah, I think that how do I describe this? He just dropped the gun. Like, he just jumped it. That's it. In my opinion, I think he should have waited to get that new prototype, because when you I'm sorry this is taking so long, but I just want to clarify one thing. When you open this IC and this is the first thing you see, you're gonna have like a reaction. It can be good, it can be bad. Sadly, I think for most people it will be a bad reaction when they see whatever this is. But I could be wrong. But then you scroll down and you see a board that's like different, but you can like not only barely tell, because you have to like actually pay attention to it. You already have this bad like whatever reaction you got to this, when this isn't even what you're gonna be buying at all. Like, because he's already like saying this is not something that's gonna exist. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think that was not the best decision as a designer, but I think the intent in this board is good, and the fact that he's making so many prototypes kind of speaks to that. Hunt 60. Let's get the ICs done, because it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Jesus Christ.
No, can't have been. It must have been 15 minutes.
I've been
We're just
talking
getting
way
started.
too much. I've just been babbling because I can't have zero
Do you
concept
want me to try and
of time
speed
right
you
now.
up if it drags
Yeah,
on?
go ahead. You do this one.
All right, so we're looking at the Han 60.
Right.
It's a 60% keyboard by Han boards. They got a Notion page, so that's quite fancy. Do you mind
Right.
opening that up? Right, so it's a premium 60%. So premium, so you already know it's good. I like their logo with the keycaps. The render's like it's a creamy render. So we got some images here.
So I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to look at the Keycap.
Okay. Let's just go down.
All right.
So
Thanks for the sub, big donors.
So yeah, like it's very sparkly, I know, from the looks of things.
Ooh.
How sparkly is that?
Oh boy. All right, let's see. So 6063, 2.2 unbuilt, PVD brass, Winky Lewis, 27 millimeters effective keycap height.
Yeah.
That is
Effective keyboard height, yeah. 27 millimeters.
Keyboard height. Wait. So where is he measuring? Oh no.
So like it's if you put a switch on.
So the top of the height to the front switch, like the stem.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There is a.
So 27.
GitHub
Isn't
page
that
for it.
like? Because usually I'd see with.
Let me get the effective keyboard heights up for popular keyboards.
That is really fucking tall, is it not? Like, that's why I'm kind of confused. Is that not really tall?
Give me 1 second. I'm just beaming it up. Effective keyboard height. So, the Cypher by Cable Car Designs is 20.87 millimeters.
And that's effective keyboard height, not effective, like the same measurement.
I'm sending you a link, which will...
Because the thing is, so I'm pretty sure, like, okay, I might be sounding really dumb right now, but the reason I'm so confused is because, like, there's no way this is the same keyboard, like, EKH, or, like, effective front height I'm considering, because 27
no, it is.
is
I think
insane.
it is. There's literally...
27.
Click on the link I sent you. There's literally one there called the Direwolf by Metamax.
I know, yes,
Which is
I
26
get it.
millimeters.
That is huge.
The IDB60 is 23.7 millimeters.
Oh, wow.
The Dock
So
Orion
this is the
25.4
top of the. So
millimeters.
this is measured to the top of the first stem. Usually, when people say effective front height or effective keyboard height, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Usually, and the reason I'm confused is because 27 seems too high, to the point where I'm thinking maybe this person messed up the measurement somehow. Like, what else is 27?
It's really high. It's a really high keyboard. Like, let's not beat around the bush.
Okay, yeah.
Let's move on from this. Like the feet,
Yeah.
I don't think work. Like I've seen people do this thing before with the corner feet. I don't like it.
Oh no.
I get why people do it. People do different for the sake of being different, but sometimes that's not the right thing to do. It's a gasket PCB mount from the looks of things. PCB by Sleep Dealer.
Boy. Okay.
Wow, look at this internal PVD weight.
This just screams quality. Okay, so one thing to note immediately, they're actually doing like case isolation too, by putting like foam between the top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's something. I don't have you seen this on a regular custom?
I can't remember seeing it.
I know it exists on like some of the budget pre-built like 75s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them, like one or two of them, I'm pretty sure. So yep, so it's a foam board for sure. So we got one, two, yep, the usual.
But again, like if you work in an office and you want something a bit more like muted, like I think foam's fine. Yeah, Lysol, Sleep Dealer, Spiked Synapse, bunch of people, Lightning keyboards.
Very long list here. The keyboard community.
Yeah. What do I think about this? I think that this keyboard has an interesting side profile. There's aspects of it I dislike. I think there's aspects of the bottom I like, but for the most part, I think it looks unrefined a little bit.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a passion project. Like I don't think this is like somebody who's just trying to kind of like do a GB for the sake of it. What do you think about this?
I'm not sure how to feel about it, to be honest, because like I'll just say I definitely don't like it for many reasons. The aesthetics are not for me. Like, I appreciate aggressive design in keyboards, but as you say, it doesn't really look. It looks pretty unfinished. Because then you look at the bottom, the feet, the weight. Like, I don't know. I'll say this a lot, and I've said this a lot. I don't think many parts of these aesthetics combine well together.
Yes, exactly. It looks like it's thrown together in a way.
Yeah. And then you look at the US.
Sorry.
Yeah, the USB port, like just everything. It kind of just looks like they like. I don't think this is like. As you said, I think they actually did put work into this. They put effort into this.
Like I said, like it's the trio of skill, taste, and awareness. I think those are the three things. So I think that they had, maybe not the right taste for me, or the
for
kind
me
of like
least.
awareness. I think it.
300 to 355 group buy with a hard cap.
It's nicer than my first design. I will say that.
What, the 959?
Yeah, exactly. If we look at the price, it's $300 to $350. They say no, $300 to $335.
So the ano on some of these units, especially this silver one that I'm seeing here, does look a bit suspicious. And the finishing on this brass, internally as well as externally, does not really infer much confidence.
So like, I think it looks like a keychain. It looks like a kind of cheap keychain you get.
Yeah,
but like
the quality does not really. I don't see the price matching with the quality, especially when we consider other options. One actual very good competitor to this board would be the doll by Anke and Holly. It's a very similar board, and I think while it doesn't like smash any barriers, is definitely a more refined, similar-ish board in this category, like a $300-ish, 60% plateless gasket, and it does like tick off a lot of the same boxes as this does, but that feels a bit more refined, I would say personally. Let me close down WhatsApp. So
I was going to say that, like, if an ano looks like that, firstly, it's not objectively bad. Like, I quite like sparkly ano on some things. I'm looking in front of me right now. I've got an audio interface with quite sparkly ano. It's nice. And also, I think it's really good that people are trying out new manufacturers. I think that we're lucky that we have manufacturers who understand what the expectations are within keyboards for kind of how they should look. But we should be not discouraging people from doing anno that looks slightly worse, because I think that kind of thing en masse could be a really good and healthy trend.
I don't know about that. Especially because when you get anno that's like this, a lot of the time it won't just be sparkle that you'll be getting, because this isn't typically something that you would ever associate, like even objectively, with good manufacturing capacity. And it's not just the anno, but when you look at the trifecta of that, and then you look at the finishing, like the supposed PVD, which isn't PVD on this brass, and then not just that.
You don't think it's PVD?
Like the streaking.
No, that is absolutely PVD. Have you ever seen a doorknob? Like,
okay, to be fair.
That is definitely PVD. That kind of what's the word? The kind of like the mistiness of it, the fogginess.
The thing is, I've seen this mistiness and fogginess on just like plated weights, or like other, like I've definitely seen this kind of finish without PVD, and yeah, it's not watch level PVD for sure. Like this, it's not proper PVD, is what I'm saying.
It's
like,
not, it's not high quality PVD. I mean, yeah. If you Google PVD, you'll see that this kind of I forget the word I'm looking for. It's definitely PVD.
I don't think it's fingerprints, because you could see fingerprints here. Like I'm talking about this like refraction on it.
I see this,
and also this here. But another thing I'm seeing, like it's just an all-rounder of like, it's these three factors as well. Like the third factor being like the tolerances don't seem to be that good either. Like that's another thing that I'm also factoring in. And when you look at the design, it's like some things don't really make too much sense. Like why is like this so big compared to like everything just doesn't really seem that like meshed well meshed together.
If there's any budding designers in the audience, I think the thing to look up is the Gestalt principles. It's a series of graphic design and kind of visual design principles that help achieve balance. Such as kind of like correct kind of like borders around things to contextualize them.
Yeah.
These are the rules that help us kind of make things not look too constrained or too empty. Playing with dimension can certainly be a really fun thing to do, but if it looks like you're doing it because you don't know how to do it differently, that's a bad thing. For example, this kind of internal weight, that could have been made to look intentional, I think, if the side bezels were the same as the top and bottom. When I say bezels, I mean the kind of like gap around the weight was the same on the top and bottom and on the sides.
These feet look like they're fucking useless. Like they look so tiny. Like, do you think this would actually do anything on a board? Especially if it says it's gonna weigh what, like 2 kilos?
Yeah, of course it would. Of course it would. It will stop the board touching the floor. I think that I don't like the feet design. I think it's really weird that it's got the kind of huge gaskets and then the tiny feet.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just weird. I'm gonna give this a newspaper, because I think, as much as like I don't think this is like something. I don't feel like this guy just threw this together randomly. And I do think he put work into this, but I think he could refine it a bit more into something where like things flow better together. It's not as bad as some. I've not seen. I've definitely seen worse though. I'm gonna give this a newspaper.
Yeah, nice. We're onto the group buys. All
right, so now it's
like 5 out of 50.
Jesus Christ, we really have. Okay, we're gonna have to speed this up.
I'll do my best to keep.
So, what are the 3 categories for this again? It's buy, do not buy, or something like that.
Oh, is that how it works?
Does someone remember? Yeah, because group buys are different. Yeah, this is going really slow. Jesus.
Taihao cubic Alps. Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
It's got to be buy.
Don't buy assignment. Okay.
Surely it's buy.
Buy. Yeah, that definitely is a buy. I mean, I bought it, so. No buy. Alessio approved by. I guess we'll also do Lewis approved by. So we'll have that new category too. All right. So before I even open this is getting an Alessio approved by, and like this just gets a buy, but only if you actually give a shit. If you're someone who does not care about Alps, this does not matter to you. But if you're into Alps and you want anything to, like, if you want like an Alps custom is something that you want in your future, buy this. It's cheap, the quality is going to be decent, the kitting is good, and you're not gonna. This is like the easiest Alps key set you can get with these colorways at this price point.
And the legends look good.
Yeah, they're fine. I don't think they're. I think I personally prefer something that's either a bit thinner or a bit thicker, but I think they look good. I agree. There's nothing wrong with this. I struggle to say anything wrong about this existing. So if you're into Alps, you buy it. Isn't Taihao super sussy? So on the MX side, people, I personally would also argue they are sussy for one specific reason. There are far what people would consider better options for similar pricing or not much more. But for Alps, this is perfectly fine. DCS 9009 Alps extras, yes, that is also a buy from me, but that is also over double the price of this.
I think we should move on. I think this is a buy, approved buy from both of us.
Yeah.
It's great. Check it out.
Yeah, this gets one buy. Yep. And then we just keep going. Keychron. Oh boy. All right, let's see. It looks good. It's good compat. Everything. Cherry profile, double shot PBT, full set keycaps, white on black wob. $40. Whoa.
Sorry, Alessio. I feel a legal obligation to remind the audience that this keycap set does not include the keyboard.
Yeah.
So what you're paying for is not the entire keyboard, it's just the keycap set.
219 keys for 40, but I want to see actual product pictures. Oh, wait, are those actual product pictures? No, this can't be.
They look like renders to me.
Yeah.
Is this a group buy they're running?
I think it was in stock and they sold out.
Okay.
Real shot. $40 for 219 keycaps. So you can immediately see this is not the best quality in the world by a long shot. You can see the grain is a bit sussy. The color isn't exactly black. This looks more like a grayish almost, but that could just be the pictures. These look sus, right? But 219 keycaps for $40? Like, you're not buying this because you want good quality at this point. This is just I want compatibility for every fucking layout possible, and $40. There are a lot of sets out there that are 170 keycap sets, 180 keycap sets for around this price and better quality. But wait, there's no F13. All these keycaps and there's no F13.
Can I
But there's 2 escapes. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, F13 sucks anyway.
Yeah, but there's 2 escapes and no F13.
So a couple of things. I think that it's really good that this includes Mac compatibility for all the Mac users out there. I know that a lot of my friends and kind of colleagues use kind of Mac OS, and they don't want an Alt-Ger key. What they want is Command and Option and so on. I think that's really good that that's included here.
Oh, look, it's your logo.
What?
They've added a hand novelties.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
No, I see it. They've got their circle, triangle, and square. I think that's great. They're very generic, primitive shapes, and I think it's nice that they've included them here.
So I'm not gonna give this. Wait. So, what's the difference between buy and Alessio approved buy?
Surely.
So buy is seeing it more objectively, and then let's
just treat it like that.
Buy is good. Okay, I'm gonna give this a buy, but I don't think I say buy, but don't just go buy it for no reason. You buy this if you want a really cheap set as a beater, random set to have laying around that will fit on basically any layout, and if that's what you're looking for to just own, that's fine. Yeah, this is not gonna be good quality. But for $40, you can cover any board.
Can I just say, I've got a couple of really quick things. So firstly, if you have a TKL and you want keycaps for a TKL, it's pointless to buy 1,000 spacebars.
Yeah.
And you can only ever use them on one keyboard. I think I would personally recommend buying GMK white and black over this.
Yeah.
But then again, if you are in that kind of budget range, it is good to have one option. I can't remember what other options are available in that price range. I think it's going to get very competitive. So I actually, I don't know if I'd approve a buy on this purely on the basis of it being cheap, because I think there's going to be other options that are kind of in a similar price bracket that give you what you want. But what I will say is, because of the Mac compatibility, and because I know a lot of people out there are Keychron users, I think it has to be an approved buy.
Can we use more metaphors and less similes? So what I'm trying to say is, there are definitely better options if you're trying to buy a specific set for a specific board. But what I'm saying here is like, if you buy this with the
like, why not?
Yeah,
why
exactly.
Not buy
it's like if you can only afford, let's say, one set, then this is a safe purchase, because then any board you may have in the future, you'll have the compatibility for that.
And also, like, if you want to get someone a gift who might want to get into the hobby, this is great. And I think Keychron is probably like one of the best normie brands.
Yeah, there is certainly better quality options, but for $40, cheap PBT that has compatibility for pretty much anything is nice. So this is a buy, but don't go buy it for no reason. That's basically it. That's it. What in the fuck board? Ah, yes, this thing. So the What in the Fuck board by Derp Turtle, Ram, and Shiba. Yes, I've already seen this. So this board, disclaimer, this board is designed and run by a 16-year-old. And this has been the source of quite a lot of controversy. Despite them making this a disclaimer, so that would not happen. So...
What's the disclaimer? Oh, I'm reading it. I'm 16.
I'm 16. By buying this, you understand that this group buy is run by a minor.
Can we speed run through this? I mean, it's super obvious. This is definitely not an approved buy.
Yeah.
That first sentence, but we could look at it because it's interesting. But like,
so
do not buy this.
This is unfortunate. I am going to. So the thing is, if we go through every single part of this, we're going to be here for a long time. So if you really care to look at this, go look at this in your own time. But I will give a summary based on what I've seen, because I've seen this. The board itself, I don't think there's a big issue with it. I think the board is like generally fine, but the issue is exactly what the disclaimer says. This is a 16-year-old that is taking your money, and you are going to get a keyboard in return for that, and it is a lot of money. And the thing that doesn't really make much sense is that they are working with supposedly a fulfillment center or vendor or whatever to fulfill this keyboard, but then they say, the miner, will be taking your money, and then you will get that product.
If you saw a 16-year-old in the world, would you give them $650?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely. If a 16-year-old came up to you on the street and pulled out a tablet and showed you a presentation of, even if it's a very clean, fleshed out product,
hey, you know what?
Said,
by the time it delivers, maybe they'll be 18.
True. But that doesn't matter, because you're still giving your money to a miner right now, and you don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but we cannot approve this buy, because giving money to a miner is just a stupid idea, regardless. And I understand, and I actually appreciate that they started this group buy thread by trying to make the disclaimer, like, they tried being transparent, but unfortunately, this is one of those things that you can't just be okay with just because they're transparent, because it's an issue because it's an issue.
This hobby is full of overconfident children who think, I'm not like other children, I have the intelligence of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, look. The items will not be directly fulfilled by me. I am working with Keyspensory, which is a vendor that I know that does group buys and fulfillment for many keyboards, and yet the payment has to be done through them. Just to save time, I'm not going to look at this. I'm sorry, but just because it's a 16-year-old, like a minor, taking payment for this, it's not even worth the time right now. The board is fine. I will say this. I personally believe the board is fine, but as a group buy, no. I'm sorry. This is a no buy. If they have... Exactly. If they have the vendor do this entirely, then we can reevaluate this product and then actually begin to consider it as something that you might want to purchase. But as it stands, giving money to a miner is unfortunately, like, objectively a bad idea. Yeah. And that's it. Next. All right. Saving time. Amazing. That got taken down.
What was it? Do you know?
It was a full brass case for the FC660C.
Or maybe it's a branding thing. Maybe because they used the term F660C.
Maybe, and it was very expensive and very, like, random, but it was kind of cool. Whatever.
Yeah, nice.
So the MGA V3. Oh, this thing again.
I haven't seen this because I only look at good keyboards.
Okay. So it's just an Alice clone. I think the design has never looked that good for these boards, but I think it does not matter that much because it's so cheap.
I mean, I disagree with you there. I think that if this was $100, it would still be a terrible phone.
Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. What? Weren't these supposed to be cheap? What happened here?
If this was $100, it would be a bad purchase. You'd be better off buying like
solid brass base.
Water.
Is that why? Okay, so it's a solid brass. Nah, but even then, this board is absolutely nothing special. It's just an Alice clone. This can literally. This is just like any fucking other China board, and I am going to demolish this.
Solid brass is $625, by the way, and that's the early bird price.
Whoa! What, $650 with the brass?
Well, $625 for early bird.
Yeah, absolutely not. So I think everyone knows what the MGA board is. It was a $220-ish, $250-ish dollar Alice clone that was full alu, and now they're making this version, which is what, polycarb top, brass bottom. Praxis exists. Yeah, but isn't Praxis like 600? Wait, but 475? I don't see 600 here. How is this 600? Oh, solid brass base. Oh.
You can, yeah. I mean, like
So full poly for 475.
It's $315 with no PCB or switch plate and only anodized aluminium. It's $375 with PCB and switch plate aluminium.
Where is? So there's a Praxis IM injection. So this is a completely different board. This is injection molded ABS. It's not going to be CNC'd polycarb, but considering this is literally just an Alice clone, and I don't really believe many people are going to think this looks that good. That is very subjective, right? But I don't think many people are going to think this looks that good. Just, I don't know. I don't really see anything that looks that interesting here. It's kind of boring. And for $475 for polycarb, and then you have to pay $625 for the brass base. When you could buy something like this, there's going to be, what, isn't Gion making an Alice soon too, the Ryu V2 or something like that?
The Praxis IM looks better than the MGA, so I would rather buy the Praxis IM at $500 than the MGA V3 at $50.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not it. This is a no buy. So I was already starting to defend it because I was like, even though this doesn't look that good or whatever, it's gonna be like $250. But that was not the case.
Price doesn't matter when design is bad.
I mean, but then when they're both bad, then it's extra bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's like if the price was really like cheap, and it's like whatever, like it's like it's like if you really want it and there's nothing else and it's cheap, whatever. But when it's a bad design and then it's also expensive, it's like fuck right off.
I totally agree. And what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Stracciatella.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one. That's one of the best.
Oh, hello.
Rikia.
Aha. Hello.
Hello, I'm Rick.
Good night, Jampot. Rikia. I'm gonna go grab another drink. Be right back.
While he's away, let me quickly show you the 2000 Mini. Will be on sale later this year. Don't tell Alessio I showed you that.
All right. So Rikia V2. Oh, did he show us 2000 Mini in polycarb? Good leaks. Is that the one that you almost lost at the London?
No, so the keyboard that was left at the meetup was a special version of a collaboration I'm doing with Kuhn. Kuhn Roma's the famous typing test person. So we're making a keyboard together, and there was a very, very special, rare prototype that nearly kind of like, you know when like somebody gets like the new iPhone and leaves it behind at a bar, and somebody's like, what's this? It's like, oh, it's got a case. Oh, it's the new iPhone. Yes, it was like that.
Nice.
No,
What mount is is 2000? They ask.
top mount only. Only top mount. It's all south-facing stabs. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's my favorite keyboard I've designed.
All right, it's Rick back with here with the Rikia. Alice
Has
style.
Rick done a keyboard before?
No clue. I do not know who Rick is. Copper prices. Okay, copper is expensive. This board is a homage to the Alice-based board.
Very nice.
Okay, yeah. All right. So he's referencing the Rukia here. It was not designed to be produced efficiently or economically, so we're in for a good ride. It's going to be expensive. Knee Deep will be doing 10 one-off custom patina editions. Oh, you love Knee Deep, don't you, Lewis?
I do. I do. I think he's solid. Oh, I've just scrolled down. I've scouted ahead. Oh,
I've ordered and shipped 17 of these. I am 100% confident in the design and board. Okay.
Can I just say that I think that with TGR clones, especially the Alice, I think that it's very easy to just kind of make a worse version of the Alice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very rare that I see an Alice-inspired board that I think needs to exist, aside from satisfying people's desire to own a keyboard that they can't buy.
Have you seen my Alice?
I don't think I have. I might have, but my memory is terrible.
So, this is my Alice, right? This is the logo right here.
What does it say? Hang on, let me change windows. TGR?
Yeah, so this is actually custom molded by glue. I glued my Jane logo and then pulled it out.
That's amazing.
All right, and this is a Lumos. This is a $200 full alu Chinese Alice that is 1-to-1 shape-wise.
Oh my god.
Incredible. And missing back weight. This is one of the best keyboards I own.
I believe it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And it's got the TGR logo, so you know it's actually like...
Seen that's real.
Yeah.
Wish I know TGR.
Oh yeah. All right. What's included? Top and bottom case. So copper or alu bottom with PC tops. Cool. You get one plate option. Good options. All right. So this is just an Alice clone. 100 units. Okay.
Can I also? I just want to quickly say that one of the things I value in a design is how much of the board did the person design, and how much of the board did they kind of just import from another designer. No, I knew. you'd do that.
I thought 500 was with
with knee deep. No, 1200
with the copper bottom, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good price.
I don't think the copper bottom is the knee deep price. I think that is just PC copper bottom.
That's full alu for 500. Are we out of our fucking minds?
It includes a wrist rest.
I don't give. Wait, hold on. No, I don't give a fuck. No, on second thought, I don't give a fuck. No. I can't even count right. Oh, that almost fucking killed me, man.
Yeah.
12. I get that it's 100 units across all configs. Okay, so what? This is gonna be what? 2020, 2020. Let's say it's 2020, 2020. All right. 20 per unit.
I think Obi ignited the desire to design this and funded the entire prototype itself. Is Obi a Blotsky?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Shall we move on? Like, I think it's obvious what this is going to be.
No, it's
We've got limited time.
You can tell what this is. No. Linworks Keycap tray. All right, what is this?
So yeah, that project is just kind of like cashing in on another designer's design.
Mm-hmm.
Linworks Keycap tray. This is the Keycap tray included in nice PBT British Racing Green. No, it's not.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still recovering from that. So I just want to like quickly just say one more thing on that last one.
Yep.
It's like, how do we even put this into words?
Design is not just the act of making a CAD file. Design is the work that goes into.
All they're doing is capitalizing on like something that's already pre-existing, and then trying to add like hype words, like shit that's like people are into right now, like what's cool, and then they just slap whatever price on there, and they expect it to just work. And the worst part is that I think it will work, because people see this shit and they're like, wow, that's so cool. When it's nothing new. Like What is this? Okay, whatever. Linworks keycap tray, $10. Are you tired of using GMK keycap trays? Yes. Try using Lin tray. Cool. In stock in Korea, we'll have a USA proxy. 10 days, $10 for a set of 3. So this is meant to go in your GMK bandoliers for $10. I don't know if this shit moves around, it's kind of pointless. But if it's like actually holding them in place, $10 for 3 of these, that's fine.
Can I just say, I've got a lot of respect for mass-produced goods. Yeah, I love injection molding.
It serves a purpose. This serves a purpose.
I'm a custom lover. I love customs, and I'm a member of the Custom Lovers Club. I think that everything they're doing there, while it doesn't appeal to everyone, seems like they're genuinely trying to kind of just do little cool things. So while some of it might kind of like seem a bit stupid, I think that a lot of us have keycaps that are missing trays, and it's nice to get some. So also, let's not forget that like GMK use their mushroom trays now, and they're not great. Not even the revised ones are that great.
I actually don't mind the revised ones, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't mind them. So here's one thing though. How much are JTK trays again? Like I think they're like $15. But at the same time, that's different because this allows you to use something you already have from the set.
The JTK trays are polycarbonate and they're $20. But they're hard cases. This is plastic. This is
this is like cheap packaging plastic.
Yeah. So
like this is the same kind of plastic they include in like $20, $30 key sets.
Yeah. It's going to be a relatively high markup item, but
so
who cares? Like $10 to solve the problem, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's solving a problem, and it's the only one solving this problem. So it's allowed to demand, like, I don't want to say premium price, but it's definitely setting its own price in this market because it can't be compared to anything else. A JTK tray is better value in like material cost, but it's not going to be doing the same thing as this. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a buy, but not an approved buy. Because it's being useful, and you only buy this if you need this.
Don't definitely buy this. Buy this if you need this. Yeah, like
buy this if you actually
it,
want this.
I wouldn't disapprove if somebody said I bought one. I'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah, so I would never buy this because I don't use my set like the boxes, the packaging. I just put everything in like little Ziploc bags and throw them in a thing. But for someone who likes having their things displayed, this is a good replacement for that, and it's the only one there is, and that's it. Moving on. Oh boy, I'm scared. I'm gonna let you have this one.
Okay. So Norbazaar is an interesting person. He lives in Silicon Valley. He made the first kind of like big dating site for gay men who kind of like live outside of the traditional gay scene. And he designs keyboards, I think, without much reference to the rest of the hobby. He's got his own style, and I quite like it. So what is this thing? This is rare and sundry.
So this is him selling off extras.
Okay. So we got loads of extras, and each is individual. If you see some of the pictures, it's interesting to see what they look like. I think he has a market. I think the market is separate to a lot of GM.
I don't get the way this isn't group buy reviews. It's not a group buy, is it? Like it's just him selling extras.
I guess there's a lot of in stock stuff in group buy there. Like we just.
Well, I'm saying I would have had this as like a Discord submission or something. I guess.
But then the last thing was also like in stock. But yeah, 550, 625. I think that from what I've seen, the quality of Norbazaar boards is really high, and I think he puts a lot of work in. I would be hesitant to fully approve this because I think that, you know, unless you're kind of like really into the aesthetic of these boards or into kind of like Norbazaar's vibe.
Wait, is he selling f-stock? Sorry. Is he actually selling f-stock? He is selling something that's f-stock.
What else are you going to do with
f-stock? So you don't put it out there if you have any self-respect as like a premium brand. Do you see any luxury brands selling f-stocks?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like if you're trying to give an image of like this luxury premium like nerd atelier, and you're allowing f-stocks to enter the market, you are like deteriorating the like perception for at least one person of a product, even if they know what they're buying, because you're allowing that to exist in the hands of people. Would you sell a Z-Stock 959?
Oh no. Absolutely not.
It's like you wouldn't want people to have it. It's saving waste. Then you
Destroy it.
give it away. Then you give it away to some random person if that's the case. Like you don't like or not. Okay, that kind of does the same thing. So that was a very stupid thing to say. But it's like you don't. Like,
what is the Z stock? Which one is it?
So hold on. This is F stock. Parts with functional problems such as missing threads or deformations that prevent parts. So the keyboard does not fit together properly.
So what is he selling that is?
We don't need more waste in the world. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying, but this is not that. Like, buddy, if you're paying, like, if you're like selling something, you are going to unfortunately throw things away. It is ignorant to like just say, oh, it's okay, because he's like saving on that. It's like you can.
I wish we could see how much it cost when he sold it.
Powder coating is too thick. It does not close properly.
Yeah, this is
it's
weird.
Just alu melted. You can recycle. Yeah, you can recycle the materials. I don't know. I think the waste argument is very fucking weird.
So like, Norbazaar strikes me as someone with a lot of taste for who he is. It's not for everyone. Like obviously he's very polarizing. And I get what he's trying to do here, like with this kind of auction type thing that's going on. But I think that I don't know, it feels weird to me. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we should move on from this. I think we should just say like no buy.
He could also just like sandblast and recode it. He could try to like refinish it himself
sure,
before.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who enjoys writing copy for websites, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And I need to say that I like Norbazaar more than most people. I think I respect Norbazaar.
The F stock was 220, but it's like even if it was like 150, why are you buying something that you're gonna have to put hours of effort into like making it a functional product, but you're buying that from the person who's making it? Like I have seen keyboards in conditions like these that have been fucked up or they mess something up and then they sell them for cheap on the aftermarket, but this is coming from them. Like I don't get why they don't just fix it and then try to sell it, but whatever.
Norbazaar's what happens when a normal keyboard designer and a thesaurus have a baby. You know, the amount of thesaurus words that he uses are fucking crazy.
That's
to me, like,
decision.
It's not a custom keyboard, it's a computer input chassis. You know, it's like everything is kind of remixed. And I like his creativity. It's very whimsical, but at the same time, it's kind of it's so self-centered and egotistical that it can almost feel like an attack, I guess is the way I'd put it.
So I guess I get what you're saying, Amrad, that it's the buyer's decision, but at the same time, I'm saying it's kind of fucking weird. Because name me one company that will sell you broken products at a price where you can buy a functional product. Like, this is not how this works. Apple? I mean, a broken product. Like,
Apple,
do they tell
like,
you...
Yeah.
When do they do that? Like, where they sell you a broken product?
Not only
do
Apple not sell you a broken product, things that go through their refurbished pipeline are actually up to a kind of better QC standard than new products, because they never want a product.
What?
So basically, Apple never want a product to come back to them for like returns twice. So if it's like I bought this laptop and the screen was glitching out, they will put it through an extra set of checks that the original run doesn't go through.
But when do you buy a broken product?
You don't. That's
so
the example of somebody.
So why are people saying Apple?
It's a meme. They're poor.
Oh, okay. I guess, sure. But that's it.
The end is in sight.
Yeah, Discord submissions now. I guess I'll turn off the music. But that's my point. It's like it could be really fucked up, but if the product literally fails to fit together, it is worthless. And he should not be selling that for even $220.
Look, if he's going to sell it, it should be to a friend who can empathize and understand.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I said give it away to a friend, it's like find someone you know will actually keep that and, like, work into it, as opposed to just, like, selling it like that. Because then you're charging money for something that person... I get it's the purchaser's decision to do that, but I think it's, like, not just only irresponsible, but it brings down your own brand. It's like... I personally would never give out a product, like even for like $100 or $50, that doesn't fit together. It being horrible, like it being dented, scratched, horrible anode, that would be different for me, because at least it's functional, like it fits together. But yeah, mode keycaps. Well, yeah, but Tesla's Tesla. They just do a little trolling. Reminds me of SPFS D stock units. It fit together, but didn't it say like it doesn't like align together? But anyway, why did I stop the music? There's nothing here.
Oh, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on these.
Hold on, let me. Why do I like keyboards so much? Like first experience with keyboards. Why do I like keyboards? I feel like there's definitely several reasons, and I'm not gonna get into that right now because people need to sleep, and we'd be here for a very long time.
Yeah.
But yes, I like keyboards because yes, the keycaps you've been waiting for. Are you excited, Lewis? They're here. What you've been waiting for is right here.
I followed Mode's rise to commercial success, and I think it's clear that they've built a team and a kind of like real commercial operation around them, and it's all been about scale. You know, like sponsor as many streamers as possible, sell as many units as possible, and I think that having a keycap set is a trend that every single vendor and keyboard designer has been following. Look at kind of like Dixie's got his keycaps, you know, Monoke have their keycaps, and now Mode have their keycaps, and I think that makes a lot of sense. It's not a brand I personally feel a huge amount of affinity for, and I don't think it's a brand that I would ever recommend. The keycaps themselves look inoffensive. The marketing is selling it big.
Fine. But the real thing is, let's see. The marketing is definitely up there.
$79.
YouTube as always. Okay. So, this is a blend of ABS and PBT. Okay. Double shot. Cherry profile. Everything standard. I can barely see what's going on here. Coming this fall for $79. Uncompromising functionality. Keycaps should stand up to the demands of everyday use. We engineered our keycaps for resilience. I'd like to hear how. That's a very strong claim.
I think this is kind of like when people say like my keyboard's made out of aerospace grade aluminium.
Oh, that's the funniest.
Do you know
shit.
what I mean? I think it's the same as that. I think it's double shot. So like if your greasy gamer fingers get on it and kind of rub away the plastic, you're still going to be able to see it.
This is grossly over marketed, but at the same time I get it because that's what Mode is. Like they're like not bad products, like they're fine for what they are, and the pricing has always generally been good, but then they push there's like this marketing that's kind of like unnecessary. But it's like, I say it's unnecessary, but that's just their identity, and that's fine. Like that's inherently okay. It's just me being a hater. These colorways, they're inoffensive, very neutral.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not tuned into this.
Yeah, I can't really say anything bad about this because I haven't actually seen anything about this other than like these renders and maybe some of these pictures. I feel like, this is just there. This is just
it
another
would take
option.
a lot for me to develop brand affinity for brands that are kind of aimed at the mass market. It would take a lot of sort of like work for me to feel affinity for GMMK or for Mode or for Corsair or for what's the other one, Keychron. You know, like for me, I'm very focused on the kind of custom side of the hobby, and so when I see something from like a kind of company that's gone in more of a kind of commercial direction, my instinct is to not like it, and I think I'm being closed-minded.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm quite happy
because
being closed-minded.
I also see it like that. Because like when you see this, it doesn't give you that vibe of it's like, hey guys, you know, we're giving like this is gonna be, I don't know how to describe it. Like these are new keycaps we're bringing into the community. More like this is a product that is the same as many other products that you've seen, but ours are different.
Probably the same manufacturer. Like
exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like this is a product you've seen a million times. There's nothing wrong with it, but we're gonna tell you it's special because we're gonna tell you it's special, and you're just gonna buy it because of that. And like, as normal as that is in like the normal consumerist world, like in like any tech space or like any like product really, this is not something I personally vibe with in keyboards. Like it gives off a very cold like vibe, and very like how to describe it? Like do you understand what I'm trying to get at? Right?
I feel a bit protective. I feel like the language of the hobby is being appropriated for mass kind of like commercial game.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing like they know.
It feels inauthentic. It feels like they're trying to trick people, but I know they're not. I know that's ridiculous talk, but like I think there's a part of me that feels defensive.
But that's what marketing is a lot of the time. It's not just
not all of the time,
people,
but some of the time.
But no, not like necessarily tricking people, but like luring people in with things that are technically not like they're not wrong. They're not lying anywhere here, but like they're being overly specific to like bait people in who might not know that what they're saying is not that special. And by marketing in this way, it's kind of like bait. This or DCX, I cannot comment because I don't know what like either are like. Yeah, I'm not gonna say either because I don't know. I'm gonna
brace
say...
yourselves. By the way, this is just the beginning. For every one of these, like there's gonna be 10 more coming in the coming months. I know personally, like there's gonna be so many cheap key sets coming out. Like everyone got bored of GMK, and so they started like working with new manufacturers, doing kind of like budget keycaps, and now they're working with double shot manufacturers. And the good thing about working with double shot manufacturers is you can kind of become your own GMK. What is this? Is this real?
I'm trying to see if I'm doxing myself anywhere on this screen.
Yeah, you are, but Barcelona at the top.
Oh, I know that. I know that. But like, no postal code or address? Alright, we're chilling. Okay, so, fuck, I was gonna say something to that effect too. Whatever, I forgot. Who cares? Oh yeah, sorry, I was gonna say, do we do a buy, don't buy, anything like that for Discord submissions? No, we don't, right? We're just looking at them?
Let's not. I mean, if you were to ask me, I'd say no, probably not. Like, unless you're a mode fanboy. If you've been watching a lot of very basic keyboard streamers, and you're like super like into like, oh, I really want a mode, then get the mode cable, get the mode switches, get the mode keyboard. You know, I love the fact that they're offering like the whole turnkey solution. You know, something that I think it's really good for designers to do.
Okay, so kit de teclado mecánico Nexttime 75, carcasa de aleación de aluminio, luces RGB compatibles con intercambio en caliente, interruptores de 3 pines y 5 pines Windows y Mac. Thoughts? Opiniones? ¿Qué piensas?
It's a Realforce 20. No, this isn't that. We're before that. This is the Nexttime 75. I don't know. It's my synapses aren't firing. This is not interesting to me.
So this is one of these things. I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. There is a very slim chance this is marginally better than the 7 other keyboards that have come before it that are exactly the same.
Yep.
But even in that eventuality, it is not going to be much better at all because it's the exact same fucking thing. There's no point. Like, this is like, I don't know how to say, this is like going to a supermarket and seeing like 7 different like baskets with apples, and you're told all the apples are different and they come from different places, but you're not told what they are, and you have to pick one. They're all gonna be the fucking same, but they're gonna be supposedly slightly different. But if you can't tell the fucking difference, what does it matter which apple you pick? This is just China being China, and I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing, and I'm literally just gonna pretend this doesn't exist because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're looking for like a 75 with a knob and you've got like 150 euros, like, why not? Like, AliExpress is a great place.
But the thing is, there's already a lot of that. Like, oh god, Xiaoyu link. Oh my god,
no.
Can someone send me a non-Xiaoyu link, please?
This is so cursed.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's like, that was fucking weird. I'm gonna just move on. Press F12.
Why? Press Alt F13.
Okay, but I don't have F13.
No, don't. It was a joke.
Bisoromi is sorry. Okay. Wait, what is... Oh, no. That's sus. I saw this. I've seen this. This is cool as fuck. I love this, and this is something only Bisoromi would do. I saw this and I thought something from my fucking timeline was leaking, and I got very scared. But thankfully, it's just a meme.
I would say that this kind of like keyboard comedy.
This fucks. Would you agree?
Oh, I don't know. Like,
does this fuck?
Keyboard comedy, like, it's such an interesting genre of comedy. I think this is very Biso. It's super cursed. If we were doing like buy or no buy, I would say no buy. But at the same time, these kinds of projects make the world go round.
Drop mystery box results.
I'm sorry, I need to apologize for comedy. Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II did die, and we have been advised no comedy.
So this is the mystery box that costs how much? How much does this cost? Yeah, for a second I kind of forgot that we were streaming on Simon's stream. But we're not going to talk about what happened. How much does this fucking cost? How much did this person pay for this? 99? So two. Oh my. Wait, is this from one? They just send you a random, like a bunch of like random China sets. They bought two. Oh, so they bought two mystery boxes and they got two of the exact same thing. And it's just leftover shit. And it's just leftover shitty keycaps that are like $5 to $10 OEM mass manufactured. So they're basically like getting people to pay to let go of their leftover stock.
But like Alessio, this is literally how Loot Crate works and all those other kind of like
this is one thing.
Boxes.
I'm actually gonna defend Drop for one thing. I'm going to defend Drop. If you buy a $100 mystery box from Drop, you deserve to get fucking scammed. Like, I feel zero empathy or sympathy or any sort of like emotion for this person other than you fucking deserve it. Because you trusted Drop to fucking like not cuck you over. Like, you trusted Drop after everything they've done. Enjoy your sets. I don't know what else to tell you. You paid $200 and thought you wouldn't get fucked buying from Drop.
Hang on, you mean you don't want the mods from SA Oblivion?
To go with your SA $5 China set.
That's right. What's this?
Thanks, Yuri, for the sub. What's up, what's up? Exactly, it's like, what did they expect going into this? Oh, is this the whole RAMA thing? Yeah, this is the whole RAMA thing. Oh yes, this thing. So for those who do not know, the Oblivion M6C was cancelled, and RAMA said, well, we never actually got paid for anything. And then Oblo was like, he announced the decision to cancel it. They responded saying they never got paid. This is correct. And basically, yeah, I don't know what this is going on. But basically, some group buy drama shit. Zambumon trying to be funny. Omnitype trying to be funny.
Here's me laughing at those jokes.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna waste time on this because who the fuck cares about RAMA? Why am I yellowing my GMK sets in the background? I only have that on for stream or when I have people over. The rest of the day, the LEDs are off, and that's UV glass. So a few hours every now and then is perfectly fine. Video section, here we go.
What? There's another section?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Music is playing in my living room. What is that from? Hey Siri, shut up. Yeah, there we go. Lewis staring into your soul. Yeah, but those sets are barely getting yellowed. It's fine. God, has it really? It's been. G reviews lasted 2 hours plus. It's been just over 2 hours. Like, we're doing fine.
Yeah. Wow.
We're gonna finish it. We caught up. Are we watching this whole thing?
What is it?
No, we're not. So this is the Wooting 60 HE. I'm gonna give a breakdown.
I'm at this guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, this is the long-awaited Wooting 60. This has a PCB that you can remove from the plastic chassis that it comes in. It is a standard DZ60 compatibility USB-C on the left side PCB. This will fit into basically any tray mount, and as well as some customs. And this is a big deal because of the switches that they have in them. Do you know what the Lekker Hall effect switches are, Lewis?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Okay. Yeah, so they're the best modern optical switches, like optical Hall effect switches. We're not going to waste time watching all of this or going deep into it, but these are the best switches in that category. And if that technology is something that interests you, this keyboard is something that should interest you, and you should go look into this. Personally, I'm waiting for them to hopefully sell the PCB or something by itself, because forcing people to pay whatever it was, like 180 or something for this keyboard is kind of annoying if you're just if you're an enthusiast trying to get that PCB into a custom. But the fact this exists is very cool as someone who has tried the technology.
Contact-based switch.
So it's cool.
A Dutch company, and
contact-based. Dutch company. Yep.
Switches, very nice, contactless linear.
I just want to say that I fully expect that one of these days, an OEM manufacturer like Corsair or Razer will probably make a keyboard that feels better than the best custom that exists today. I think it's definitely possible.
I think it is definitely possible, but it is also definitely possible that the world like fucking explodes in the last like 3 seconds.
That's true.
And comparing possibilities, I think it's difficult to decide which one is more likely. And considering 6 seconds have passed, I think we can agree on what's more likely.
Oh no!
You can do a lot of cool shit with this.
Here and have to accidentalities. Honestly,
software seems good.
$180 might sound.
$180. So,
it'd be fun if somebody wanted their first keyboard, and you're like, well, if you want something fun, everyone's going mad about this thing.
So I had a criticism for this the other day in a Discord, and I'm trying to remember and to like put it all coherently. And this is it. So if you're not really someone who's into this hobby and you see this, the technology is very fucking unique, and they put a lot of work into this. And for 180, I think they are fairly assessing the work they put into this. As far as a keyboard goes, this is bottom of the barrel as far as customs go, because it's just a standard OEM keyboard.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely nothing special about this. You do not buy this if you want a nice keyboard per se, although it is perfectly okay to use something like this if you're not like fucking stupid and care too much about these things for absolutely no reason. But for someone who's an enthusiast, I think they kind of like, I get why some people might argue that it doesn't make sense for them to not sell their PCB standalone, because they're like, oh, they would lose customers and this and that. And I disagree, because what I think would make sense for them, if this costs 180 for everything, including the keycaps, this and that, you could sell, let's say, PCB and switch bundle for, let's say, 80 to 100. That's a random ballpark. And while that might seem expensive, what you do is you take the profit margin that you make from selling the full kit, remove the other costs, and then also a bit shave off a bit off the top, and then kind of offset that profit margin onto the cost of PCB and switches. And then it's not that you would lose business, because it's not that less people would buy the $180 option as much, because it's very prohibitive for a lot of people anyway to begin with to pay that much for just a PCB to put in a custom. But like, people who are going to buy the board for the sake of using the board are going to buy it regardless of that cheaper option existing. And when you have that cheaper option, you'd probably end up getting more business, because the enthusiasts will now be more likely to pay 80 to 100 than 180 and then throw away these parts they don't need. Maybe you guys disagree with me, maybe Lewis disagrees with me, but I think it's very dumb of them to not do this, despite some people might like argue it's a good business decision to sell it as is.
I think you massively overestimate the size of the custom hobby. I think for every person who buy just this for the PCB and switches, there'll be 1,000 people who buy it just for like past gaming.
So here's the thing. I agree with you. And this is one of the points someone had made to me when I had that discussion the other day. But the point that I made back is that they specifically kind of inadvertently targeted the enthusiast hobby by making the fact that you can remove the PCB and put it in a new case part of their integral marketing. So they're trying to kind of nudge in the direction of, hey, you can buy this and put it in a custom case. So they know the custom niche exists and they're trying to like appeal to them in a capacity, but then they're also like falling short. So if this was like the usual like Razer thing where it's like you buy it, you can't do fuck all with it, you can't do anything with it, that's fine. But when they kind of like try to go in that direction and then stop halfway there, it doesn't make as much sense to me. And I get what you're saying, and it's definitely valid, but I think it doesn't make sense with the way they've done it from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents.
Marketing.
Yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Because when you're trying to market the fact that it's like, oh, look how cool it is that you can take it out and put it somewhere else. It's like, but why do I want to pay to take it out? You get what I'm saying? It's like
I get what you're saying.
yeah,
That's definitely confusing. I haven't seen that marketing, but I believe you.
Yeah,
And for as many as 4.
yeah. Exactly. But it's like, if you're going to try throw it in, why not go the extra mile and provide this other product that isn't really going to be that much harder logistically? Like, it is harder, but not that much. And you just make everyone happy. But yeah, it's cool. I am genuinely waiting until the moment I can get one of those for cheap, or like the PCB or whatever for cheap, because I do want a custom with that PCB. It's cool.
Yeah, no, you're right. Reading it now, on their marketing page, they literally say Geekcap's greatest invention.
Exactly.
Talking about the universal tray mount.
Exactly.
So you could put this in the tofu.
Yeah, so they are literally acknowledging the custom hobby, but then they're not like giving them what they want. So it's like, why even acknowledge it? Like, have it, like, do the design as it is, but don't do that, because
it's kind of like HHKB. You know, you buy a HHKB, then you buy the case. It's not so much you buy the HHKB PCB. I get it. I think it's nice that they don't have to put any extra effort into it, but they can still benefit from it. I think that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And honestly, when I'm saying this, I'm not even saying this is like it's a super bad thing. Like, I'm like pretty calm right now. It's like, it's just something that doesn't make much sense, and it's something that I think is an oversight on their behalf. But it's not a big deal, because it's like, whatever, you know, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, it makes
the
sense.
Sense 75 is
we got a few more. A drop, make it make sense.
Board. This is a 75 I have for a really...
Do we have to watch this? It's a dogshit 75 made by a dogshit company that, just like the China, like AliExpress thing, does absolutely nothing new. It does not excel at anything it does. It is extremely overpriced. It's like $350 to $400 for a... Like, what you get in the package that you buy directly from Drop is, like... For anyone who has any level of standards, I would say objectively would say it is not good.
And I'd like to say that's the same for audio.
What do you mean?
I'd like to say that
like stuff?
Yeah,
like,
their audio stuff is just like their keyboard stuff.
Yeah, it's like it is a very. I'm being very ambiguous right now because there's a lot to this board. If you are interested in the Drop Sense, watch this video. It's kind of late. It's almost 1 a.m. But this is an excellent review. I have watched this video from start to finish already the other day because I was bored. He reviews this very objectively, very well. And what I get from this review is that even when he's being objective, he struggles to find any reason for this to exist. And that's what this title alludes to. There's no reason for this to exist, especially when they don't do it better than any of their other alternatives. And they're also not doing it for cheaper. Not a good product. But yeah, feel free to watch if you care about the board. Oh, yes,
you
finally.
talked about this earlier, like, and I would buy this keyboard if it was much more expensive. I am. Fuck off. Sorry, you just killed me. I'm gonna buy this and put Alps in it. And I tried this at the meetup, and I was very, very impressed by this board because it is the only time I've typed on a injection molded board that felt like solid. And can I just say that, like, the price it is not cheap for a keyboard. Like, think how much a keyboard from Corsair costs.
Yeah, but think how many millions they produce.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, like, so just because this is cheaper than the custom doesn't mean it's, like, going to be a third as good or a quarter as good. It's going to be lighter because it's injection molded plastic. But it also looks cool, you know? It's kind of see-through plastic.
And here's the thing. I don't think and this is actually a way of thinking I have. I don't think any keyboard, as long as it's good within its own capacity, is better or worse than any other good keyboard within their own capacity and like genre. I always say they're different. For example, it's like, if you ask me what's better, a Model M or a TGR JNV2, I would say neither. They're different keyboards. If you ask me which one I prefer, I would probably, like, I don't know, I'd probably say Model M, honestly, like for daily driving. But that's another context. But like, the Praxis IM is a cheap keyboard, but I generally would pick it over a lot of customs that are 2 or 3 times the price, even though it's so simple. Because it's just like, it's a nice board, it's cool looking, it sounds different, and it feels like just any other Alice clone, because that's what it is. We're not going to look at this whole thing as much as I would love to, because
I don't understand this segment. Like, it's like 20-minute videos.
Yeah. He does like these like aesthetic things in his videos, and honestly, I like them because it makes it like fun to watch.
The technical term for that is B-roll. You have the A-roll, which is the main story, and the B-roll is like all the slow motion shots of coffee.
Mm-hmm. So he's showing the keyboard treehouse. Oh wait, actually I want to see this properly. We're gonna actually take a look at this properly. So he's gonna show the keyboard treehouse vendor like store, I guess, in Sydney. Oh fuck.
Boys.
Oh, hey. Long time no see. Right there.
Oh yeah, also, gaming keyboards by Corsair and Razer are also pretty fucking expensive.
Yeah, no, I saw that comment. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how much they are.
You can, like, $200 range exists.
No way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, it exists. There are $200 keyboards from both of them.
That's crazy. I'm looking now. Okay, the K100 is £122. Oh, whoa, no. That can't be real. £246
For what?
for a Corsair K100.
Yeah.
It's £250. That's like $300.
Yeah. You want to know? Hold on. This China Alice board that I have right here in my hand. Guess how much the full build for this was, not including the artisan.
$100.
So Keycaps. Okay. Come on, buddy.
$200.
It's full. This is $260.
$260, nice.
For full build. $260. This is a full CNC Alu beige. So this is like coated beige.
That's very good. It's a good price.
Polycarbonate plate. Is the artisan worth more than the build? No, but it's like 2/3 of it. What happened to the weight? I sent this off. So this is the thing, is the weight was a aluminum accent piece. So it wasn't a weight. I sent it off to a resin guy, and I'm having him make me a resin weight full of brass, like brass dust, to make like a weight. But yeah, $260. And then you look at like those fucking gaming boards, and it's like,
$300 for a Corsair keyboard.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And you know what? For every kind of like TGR Jane that sells, there's probably like 100,000 of those that sell.
Probably. Is that a Lumos? Yes. I really enjoy it. Like, it's very simple, very clean, very cheap.
It's a nicely organized store.
Also, Praxis comes with free stabs, right? And those stabs are already like $25 value proposition.
Because Alice has like quite, you need your stabs.
Yeah, and you'd actually need 2 sets, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. Usually to complete it.
Yeah, for the space bars, yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why they did that.
And it comes with like decent stabs too. It comes with a carry case, I think, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm wondering if you could injection mold the stab the stab kind of like, not the stems, but the housings into the board itself, and then just push the stems through the bottom through like a little recess.
No carry case? Oh.
Who needs a carry case? Chuck it in the IKEA bag.
Yeah. What's the original one?
The original one is these ones.
I was trying to convince him to make a Hot Wheels edition.
This is your first
but he wouldn't.
design that you did, right?
Yeah, technically second, but first big.
Yeah, I mean Praxis
or,
I am.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Good project.
Oh! I actually owned one of these.
What is it?
The Austere was the most basic Alice clone for the longest time, where it was just like, there was nothing. There was no engraving, no weight, and I really enjoyed that about it. It was just a very simple, like
Boards have
exactly
gotten
like the
too heavy.
Lumos.
Boards have gotten way too heavy.
Exactly like the Lumos. It is completely simple, but the reason I sold that is because it was like too much. It was like $500 something at the time.
What about that? Yeah, I did do a video.
But
on it.
it was cool. It was well manufactured. Good
the next
anodizing.
iteration in the series.
Yep. So IM stands
Good
for.
IM essentially
tolerances.
stands for injection molded.
Very nice.
So
It's a more expensive MGA, but it was also like early 2019. So
creative,
it was
simple,
different back then.
Very simple naming.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Like
So
most
these
people
are
weren't
the
really
two-
even in the hobby back then.
Colors
Yep.
and stuff at the
Yeah.
moment.
So the first round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
back
like
then there was nothing even remotely
Blue?
close. It was you either had an Alice or you had that, or you had like the one other Alice clone.
For this round, we ordered around 1,000.
Man, it actually looks
units.
so nice.
So it uses the same material in different
Oh.
implements.
I love me some good-looking plastic, man. I saw this in person. This looks like I've seen other injection molded boards, and for some reason, a lot of them don't seem as like clean and smooth, especially like when you look
Right.
at the bottom. A lot of them have like a fuck ton of like injection marks or like the support braces too. This is the cleanest looking I've ever seen, and it's like actually screwed together, proper top mount, like none of that weird like foam or anything.
One of the key
Oh.
objectives is
Finally,
one of the key features is you're able to take
Great build.
your same Praxis plate and PCB and just slot it into your injection molded Praxis. If you just want to set on the side. More
We've
important.
only got
yeah,
one more after this. Wait, no, we got another one at the bottom.
I don't want to watch this whole thing, so he's just explaining the board. Oh, weeb stuff, nice. So it comes with stabies, which are decent stabs.
Are they?
So
They're decent. They're not good. They're decent. Like they're definitely decent. I would. There's other stabs I would pick, but they're fine.
Gotta love how translucent colored plastic.
it's very
looks.
clean.
It's just so pretty. As
So it's actually warped. Like, is this true?
mentioned by Ryan before, this is essentially an injection molded version. Here's the bottom piece to
It's
remember.
very clean.
Support ribbing along the bottom surface to improve
Very slight
rigid,
supports.
like, together. So
Oh.
it's not even close, and that goes for both the top and bottom pieces. Which
This is
That is
fine.
bad.
That's
they
completely
have to,
normal.
like together. So
that
it's
is
not
not
like
good.
they
I'd not
can
seen that.
counteract
That,
each other.
that happens with every single injection
With all this
molded
being-
part.
Yeah,
that
but
has ever
will
been
it
made.
actually
It
translate?
is known.
When
and
you
it's
screwed
just
it in, it
known,
won't
and
translate. It'll completely
there's
be
no-
fine.
Easier to try.
Okay.
So there's a bunch.
Like
If that's true,
everything from like
Fluid.
cars to like the iMac,
Cheers,
they will
Johnny boy.
warp like that.
Interesting.
If you don't want it to warp, you can make it thicker or add in those
Very
ugly
fast
supports you
inserts, but-
mentioned.
And
So this is one of those boards I think one day could have an even cheaper competitor to this, like possibly, but I think it'll be a long time
Higher
before
scale.
we see that.
I
Yeah,
don't know
and
if
like
Keyboard
some, like,
Treehouse
I
like
think-
that scale.
I think if like some random China company one day decides to make the same thing, there will be a cheaper option, but I generally don't see that happening for a long time. And even if they do, I don't know if they'll manage to get it for cheaper for the full value proposition for like a lot. It is still a problem. Why? Why do they always have to be see-through? I don't think they always have to be see-through.
Why
I'm pretty
wouldn't
sure
you
it's
make
just
it
like a
see-through?
trend.
It's one of the
Looks like
areas where injection molded
sort of
materials
case.
can look
And-
cooler than aluminium.
Yeah. So is it actually still? Oh, you can see when he puts the keycaps on, the thing is wobbling. Look. Wait. Yep. Oh. I saw that.
it is.
Yeah, no,
It's more
it was definitely
the
wobbling a bit.
actual switches themselves. So I use the all black Oil Kings, but also ability everything else.
Yeah, but the the issue I have with those boards is like they don't actually do like proper screwed in top mount, and they definitely exist and they're fine, but they don't do this. Like they don't do what this does.
This is
Side
a proper
profile,
keyboard.
And I did talk
Yeah.
to him about it. If you use it
But this is not good.
with a desk mat, it's
Mm.
no issue at all. Even being this light, it still sinks in a bit, and it's covered, no problem. So they kind of.
I'm not sure how to feel
assume
about
that
this.
You will use it.
Yeah,
It just says
because
it's not an
to
issue.
be fair, many of us.
what,
do.
what I was saying is that like it being warped is fine if the parts come together and are screwed together. Like they'll be
Just-
flush
Yeah,
with
but
each
if they
other.
don't,
Goes
But no, but they are
touch.
flush with each other. But both of them are
Yeah.
warped.
yeah.
So it's clearly that there are maybe some structural changes that they should make to stop that.
Going to black
Hmm.
oil, which to be fair,
Yeah,
many of
warping is just a property of this kind of plastic, and it is a challenge.
So the feet ended up being long enough so that there's still 4 points of contact when on the table, despite being curved.
So that means that the feet aren't making constant contact. They might be kind of like tilting slightly, or I get what he's saying.
I don't know how to feel about that. Because he says on a desk mat it's fine, but is that really okay?
Yeah, I mean, okay, like it's if this was a bigger company, if this was like Corsair, for example, or Microsoft, or any other company that makes keyboards, they would not let something like this go out with that kind of design flaw. Like, that would be kind of product recall, back to the drawing board. So I'm hoping that we do see a V2 that does change that.
Yeah.
And maybe, they have to add in some nice, tasteful supports. I'm curious about the front height and how much space they have to play with in there, because it looks like there's not much space.
So one thing about this is that, like, from seeing this picture, it's hard to tell how big of an issue it is. The thingy, where is it? Like the warp unevenness. I feel like we have to see like actual real world examples and like how people get them and see what that's like. Because it's something that it might be an issue, but maybe it's just like not enough of an issue to be fine. But I don't know how to feel about it. Like, if people start saying, oh, I put this on my desk and type on it and shit's, like, wobbling constantly, that's unacceptable. But if it's like, oh, it looks a bit warped, but I can't, like, no one can really tell when typing.
I'm actually using an injection molded keyboard right now. I didn't realize.
I think that might be fine for now, but if they ever make a revision, that's something I would hope.
If they revise this and they didn't change that or fix that, it would be very disappointing.
Yeah. I think since this is a V1, and if it's not a huge issue, it's probably fine. Okay. Last thing, or 2 more things, and we're almost done, and we can go to sleep.
Oh, so sleepy, but so happy.
This would be my next project. It is, of course, a Commodore 64.
Did you ever have a Commodore 64?
I've never owned one, but I've typed on a few. Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's an interesting thing to use.
I had a really fun piece of software for the Commodore 64 to turn it into a synthesizer. Keyboard? Because it's got a really great sound chip inside of it.
It's not easy. Another.
Yeah, this is great.
I love this. I love this so much.
And the PC. But
I love this. He's actually putting so much work into it. This is what. Yes. My man is putting in the work. Let's go.
And the step files are in the description.
If I'm not mistaken, ground should be the square.
Oh, I just realized this is Matteo.
Came out wonderfully. The look and feel is very Commodore 64, and the retro SA keycaps are simply perfect for this build. Not sure.
Yeah, this is great. This
makes me really happy. Like, genuinely, seeing shit like this makes my day.
Yeah, very nice. I like it.
Of course, some materials are heavier.
We need more people doing shit like this.
They to a very board, a sort of a vintage feel, which.
My man, I love this. I love people like this. Like, more of this, please. Good job, man. Good job, Matteo. What is this? Poor Simon, man.
Yeah.
Suffering. So yeah, we've taken over for Simon today.
Who's Simon?
I think that was... Yeah, true. Who's that? It's, we are, what's our group name? Who are we?
Who are we? We're Michael Black and Jonathan Simon.
Yep.
Together we are Black Simon.
Great work getting the stream banned. I don't know what you're talking about. I bet Alessio won't even see this. He is the inferior reviewer. My hands are cold, I can't type. Simon left and he won't turn on the heater. We are freezing to death. Recap team.
Very funny.
Get fucked.
This has been a lot of fun though. Like tooth pain is no joke. If you're having any tooth pain, please see a local dentist.
Yep. Alright, I guess that's it for today.
Yeah,
huh?
well, that was fun, wasn't it?
Damn, was that, oh god, wrong one. Boom. Was that too long? Wait, what is this? When did this come out? Did this come out when we started stream? I'm gonna let Simon review this, even though this is a board I really like.
What board is it? Oh,
It's
this
the
one.
the dodgy 6.
Yeah.
Wait, 5? Isn't this a 6-0?
I was talking to a friend
Wait.
about it. I hate the new feet, but I
Hold
like
on.
the board.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna have to talk about this because this is funny to me. So, you know, there's this other guy, but it's not just these two people. It's like a lot of people doing this where they name the board like the layout, but using like a different language or something like that. Like this is like something I've seen certain designers do. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like
of
there's
course.
the Mercy guy, and then like I've seen other things. So he has a board called the 65, which means 65, and on his own board, which is a 60, he's forgetting it's 60. It's not a big deal at all. I just find it very funny.
Yeah, like these people who aren't
like-
Italian using Italian words.
I'm pretty sure this is Spanish, and I'm pretty sure this guy has Latino roots or something like that. Maybe he does, but it's just kind of funny. And my guess is he just like took the 65 like interest check maybe and used that as a template. Maybe it does not matter. I'm not trying to get anything here. It is just funny to me. That is it.
Yeah, because it has just come out like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I like it. I really dislike the feet.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I like it.
I'm not gonna go into this board deep. This is a board I want to purchase. I enjoy it because it's simple. I'm not gonna give this an objective review. I'm not gonna say buy or don't buy. I just like this board. You guys will wait for Simon to review this properly. But yeah, let's stop that for now and find someone to raid.
Who could we raid? We could raid Black Simons online.
Oh, true.
Alex Sotos.
Alex is streaming? Yeah, hold on. Thank you guys for coming out. We're gonna raid Alex shortly. Let's see. Wait, can I even raid? Oh, I can't, because I'm not the streamer.
Oh, of course. Makes sense.
I'm merely pretending to be the streamer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright.
Oh, well.
You guys just go watch Alex, alright? We're gonna pretend
Yeah, or
raid
someone
him.
else. You could
Alright.
get another hobby.
Yeah.
Second hobby. Imagine that.
Marine mammals rescue. Yep. Alright. Thank you guys for coming out. Hopefully Simon will stop dying soon, so you guys don't get a replacement white
It might
Simon.
be quite nice if he passed away. You know,
Oh.
join
Oh.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and then we can just
Why would-
continue
True.
using the stream.
True. Alright, I guess we'll leave it there. Everyone have a wonderful night, and that is all. See you.